Chapter 2281. Shen Ruoming had wanted to say something, but he suddenly sensed that the Heavenly Lion King was behind him, so he didn't dare to say anything. Even though the Heavenly Lion King was in human form, his afro looked very ferocious, like a lion's head. After he walked over, he snorted, "You guys only know how to speak ill of others behind their backs." The Heavenly Lion King naturally heard what Shen Ruoming had said. Everyone in the Nine-Yang Sacred Palace knew that Qin Yun's cultivation situation wasn't very optimistic, but they all hoped that Qin Yun could break through his bottleneck. Only then could the Nine-Yang Sacred Palace become stronger. Shen Chonghao laughed and said, "Heavenly Lion King, with us watching over you, you can rest assured and go rest. Don't worry." The Heavenly Lion King had joined the Nine-Yang Sacred Palace long ago. Moreover, there was an old friend like the inscription gate here. The Heavenly Lion King was mainly in charge of patrolling and guarding the gate. "I'm afraid that you guys won't be able to fend off a strong enemy," the Heavenly Lion King said with disdain. "Our Palace King has offended the powerful Nine Heavens Demon Emperor. Are you guys scared to death?" Shen Chonghao and the others had lost to Qin Yun and had to guard the Nine-Yang Sacred Palace. They could only leave at the appointed time. Therefore, whenever Qin Yun offended a strong enemy, Shen Chonghao and the others felt very tired. "There's nothing to be afraid of. Our divine sky race is not to be trifled with," Shen Ruoming said. "Our heavenly sword Marquis might come over in a while." Shen Chonghao said, "To be honest, with the Nine-Yang Palace King's current strength, he doesn't need our protection." The Heavenly Lion King asked curiously, "Your heavenly sword Marquis is coming? Is he also here to guard the gate?" Shen Ruoming said, "Of course not. The heavenly sword Marquis is here to talk to your Palace King and cancel our agreement, so that we can leave the Nine-Yang Sacred Palace." "It seems like you guys are really afraid." The Heavenly Lion King shook his head and smiled. "Indeed. After all, you guys are timid like mice. It's normal for you guys to be afraid when facing the powerful Nine Heavens demon race. Fear is something that only the weak have." Shen Ruoming and Shen Chonghao were very displeased by the Heavenly Lion King's mockery, but they couldn't retort. It was true that they had a lot to worry about. Previously, they had to face the Primal Chaos race, the Divine Star race, the Divine Sword race, and the Divine Star race. Now, with the addition of the Nine Suns demon race, the Divine Sky race wouldn't be able to hold them off. "Your Nine-Yang Divine Palace is the strongest, that's enough, right?" Shen Ruoming said. "Of course." The Heavenly Lion King laughed out loud. Inside the secret room, Qin Yun is busy modifying the Nine-Dragon Heavenly Origin formation. He added the vibration Heavenly Law Divine rune he obtained before. This was a very complete Heaven's Law Divine mark. The power of the vibration was very strong. After that, he inscribed a few scattered Heavenly Law Divine veins, all of them in small segments. Granny Tang and Bai Qiangshu had given him those divine runes. The main purpose of adding these divine runes was to increase the killing power of the Nine Dragons' Heavenly Origin formation. The power released by the Heavenly Law Divine rune could slightly restrain those Ninth Heaven Divine demons. Even if he couldn't kill the Nine Heavens demon gods, he could suppress them and prevent them from recovering so quickly. Qin Yun felt that it was still insufficient. He needed better Heavenly Dharma Divine runes. Only then could he suppress the stronger Nine Heavens Divine demons. The strongest Nine Heavens Divine demon was the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor. Qin Yun did not expect to be able to suppress him, but he must be able to suppress the demon lords and demon generals under the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor. Only then could he deter the Nine Heavens demon race and stop them from being so arrogant. The Dragon Heavenly Rune and Sun Dragon Totem were integrated into the Divine Universe Dragon Pearl. The runes Qin Yun carved this time are blood soul power condensed from heavenly blood. These runes are even stronger than the ones before. The Divine Universe Dragon Pearl could better absorb Divine Universe power and quickly transform it. through the dragon heavenly rune and other runes, it could release even more power. From time to time, Qin Yun used the formation to contact the moon palace above the divine moon. He asked Little Phoenix about some matters and the whereabouts of the divine moon emperor. The divine moon emperor's whereabouts are still unknown. Xiao Yuelon and the other 9 Sun Divine Maidens are doing their best to find out where the divine moon emperor is so that Qin Yun can talk to her. The meeting of the Myriad Realms Divine Court will be held half a year later. Qin Yun plans to find the divine moon emperor before then. The meeting is very important. The Myriad Realms Divine Court will gather the leaders of many factions to have a good discussion. If the discussion is not good, they will have even fewer members in the alliance. Later, they will have to declare war on the 9 heavens demon race. Hence, the Grand Inquisitor had given the various major powers enough time to consider. Qin Yun modified the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. About 10 days later, he learned that the divine sky race's heavenly sword Wangjue has arrived. The little palace spirit told him this. Because it is an important stage, Qin Yun did not go out to meet the heavenly sword Wangjue. The heavenly sword Wangjue's purpose is very clear. He wants to talk to Qin Yun and cancel the soul contract with Shin Changhao. He wants to let Shin Changhao and the others leave the Nine Yang Temple. In the eyes of those powerful races, the Nine Yang Temple is a very dangerous place, because the Divine Star Race, Primal Chaos Race, Divine Sword Race, as well as many 9 heavens divine demons are always watching the temple. The Divine Sky Race disciples stationed in the Nine Yang Temple do not dare to go out casually. They are worried that they will be killed by the people of the Nine Yang Temple. The heavenly sword Wangjue has a very high position in the Divine Sky Race. It can be said that he is one of the strongest people below the Divine Sky Emperor. Wangjue coming personally is giving him a lot of face. But Qin Yun did not appear, so he can only wait. A few days after the heavenly sword Wangjue arrived, Bai Suxin also came. The difference is that Bai Suxin came secretly. Qin Yun let the little palace spirit bring her to the heavenly palace lodge. Bai Suxin previously made arrangements for her people in the White Sun Divine World. The Myriad Realms Divine Court also helped them build a big city. The Three-Eye King also received help from the Myriad Realms Divine Court because they are now considered allies. Bai Suxin previously said that after coming to the Divine Desolate, she will stay with Qin Yun for a period of time and cultivate together. During this period of time, she has heard many things about Qin Yun in the Divine Desolate. When she met Qin Yun in the White Sun Heaven City, she knew that Qin Yun is a famous person in the Divine Desolate. Even so, after she has a certain understanding of Qin Yun, she is still shocked. In the Divine Desolate, Qin Yun can be said to be a legendary person. After Bai Suxin learned of Qin Yun's 10 images, she was very worried for Qin Yun. Because in the White Sun Divine World, there are many examples of such failures. When the number of images reaches a certain level, it is not a good thing. Whether it is the White Sun Divine World or the Three-Eye Divine World, it is the same. Qin Yun went into seclusion for more than a month before he finished modifying the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. The 9 divine universe dragon pearls finally formed a new 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. This new 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation will be even stronger. Even if those powerful races use mysterious heavenly talismans, they will not be able to easily suppress it. Qin Yun's modified 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation has a rather big flaw. It is too powerful. Once it is used, the commotion will be very strong. Furthermore, it will erupt with even stronger divine universe power. Bai Suxin has been here for more than 10 days. She has been strolling around the Nine Yang Divine Palace. When Bai Si and the little palace spirit learned that Bai Suxin will be staying, they were overjoyed. During this period of time, Bai Suxin, King White Sun, has become quite famous. Bai Suxin's White Sun heavenly city's overall strength is very strong. It is mainly because of the strength accumulated in the heavenly law universe for a very long time. Furthermore, Bai Suxin has the heavenly law inheritance pearl. The inscription masters under her command are very good, they all have some heavenly law divine runes. As for Bai Suxin and Qin Yun's relationship, no one is very clear about it. Furthermore, Bai Suxin secretly came to the Nine Yang Divine Palace. Her activities inside the Nine Yang Divine Palace are very secretive, no one knows about it. Only Bai Si and the little palace spirit know about it. However, they won't say anything. With such a strong expert overseeing the Nine Yang Divine Palace, they can feel more at ease. Heavenly Sword Wang Ju has been here for a long time. He became impatient and left, then came back again. He has been back and forth like this for several times. After Qin Yun finished the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation, he comfortably took a bath and had a good sleep. Then he put on his blue inscription master robe and arrived at the Heavenly Palace Pavilion's guest hall. Little Queen, I made you wait for a long time. Qin Yun arrived at the guest hall and saw the domineering beauty with a head full of white hair. Bai Suxin's body has the aura of a king, so it makes her look very natural and cold, elegant and noble. Many people who have come into contact with her don't know that this seemingly dignified White Sun King also has a gentle and charming side. When Bai Suxin saw Qin Yun come out, she smiled gently. Little big brother, I am indeed tired of waiting for you. When he came into contact with Bai Suxin's beautiful eyes, Qin Yun's heart fiercely jumped a few times. What were you waiting for me for? Did you miss me? Qin Yun walked over with a smile and directly held Bai Suxin's delicate and soft lily-white hands. Bai Suxin coquettishly pouted and wanted to retract her hand, but Qin Yun grabbed it. She could only puff her cheeks with hidden bitterness and say in a low voice, Little big brother, you bullied me. I want to tell you well on. My White Sun Queen, stop pretending. Who can bully you? Qin Yun said with smile. Heavenly Sword Wang Ju is still in the hall, why don't you go see him first? Little Palace Spirit said that he has been waiting for you for a long time. Bai Suxin said with smile. I haven't seen my beautiful little queen for a long time. Wait until I've seen enough of you, then I'll go see that guy. Qin Yun directly squeezed into Bai Suxin's chair, causing Bai Suxin to pout coquettishly again and again. Qin Yun is very clear that if he doesn't bully this White Sun King, he will be bullied by her instead. Little big brother, I heard about your situation. 10 statues are indeed unsolvable. Bai Suxin is somewhat sad, her beautiful eyes are filled with worry. Not necessarily. Qin Yun is very open-minded, he smiled and said, Take out your heavenly law inheritance pearl, I will help you undo the heavenly law seal. This matter has been on Bai Suxin's mind for a long time. She urgently needs this kind of heavenly law inheritance to fight against those 9 heavens divine monsters. Chapter 2282. The main reason Bai Suxin came to the Nine Yang Divine Palace was to gain a better understanding of Qin Yun. This was because the Nine Yang Divine Palace contained many of Qin Yun's memories. She plans to use her White Sun and Qin Yun's Nether Sun to cultivate together for a long time, so she wants to understand Qin Yun better. I'm meeting Heavenly Sword Wang Ju here. Do you want to join me? Qin Yun smiled. I don't want anyone to know that I'm in the Nine Yang Divine Palace. Bai Suxin looked at a door and said, I'll hide inside. Qin Yun grabbed her lily-white hand and said with a smile, Why, are you afraid that others will gossip? Bai Suxin stomped her feet and snorted. Of course not. I just don't want anyone to know that I'm here. I've handed White Sun City over to City Lord Bai and the others. If they find out that I'm slacking here, they'll scold me. You're cultivating here. How are you slacking off? Stealing someone is more like it. Qin Yun chuckled and let go of her hand. Bai Suxin rolled her eyes at Qin Yun and quickly entered the room. She leaned against the door to eavesdrop on Qin Yun and Heavenly Sword Wang Ju's conversation. Qin Yun sat at the seat of honor and said, Little hall spirit, call those guys in. Above the main hall of the Nine-Yang Divine Palace was the entrance to the Sky Hall. Only with the permission of the little hall spirit could others enter. The people Qin Yun wanted to see stood in the middle of the palace. Then, the little palace spirit controlled the entrance and sent them into the sky, allowing them to enter the heavenly palace. Many people came to the heavenly hall. Shen Ruoming and Shen Changhao came as well. Qin Yun sensed many powerful auras, they are all stronger than Shen Changhao. The little palace spirit secretly communicated with Qin Yun and said, "Big Brother Palace King, the dukes of the heavenly fiend's celestial race, Nine Shades race, and Nine Suns heavenly race are also here. What are so many of them doing here? Could it be that you want to strengthen your reputation?" Qin Yun found it somewhat funny. This was his territory. No matter how many people came, it would not be enough to kill them. The door to the living room opened automatically when it sensed someone approaching. Sky Sword Wang Ju walked in front, carrying an unsheathed sword on his back. The sword was pressed against his back. Some sword cultivators liked to show their swords, while others hid them very well, such as Shen Ruoming. Sky Sword Wang Ju was an elegant middle-aged man. He wore a long white robe and had a thin mustache. He looked like a middle-aged scholar. However, the sword on his back had an overbearing aura, which did not match his humble scholarly appearance. Behind him were 8 people. 2 of them were Shen Ruoming and Shen Changhao. The other 6 were dukes from the heavenly demon race, Nine Shades race, and Nine Suns sky race. "Everyone, please have a seat." Qin Yun stood up and said with a bright smile, "I was cultivating in seclusion and it was an important moment. Therefore, I had no choice but to make everyone wait for a long time. Please forgive me." Sky Sword Wang Ju smiled faintly. "Palace King Nine Yang, we understand your cultivation situation. We can understand." Shen Ruoming asked, "Have you broken through?" Qin Yun said with smile, "Of course not. If I broke through, everyone would be able to see it." Everyone could indeed feel the aura of the Xian divine power from Qin Yun's body. "This time, I came to discuss with Palace King Nine Yang to cancel the soul contract he signed with Marquis Chong Hao. I want them to return to the divine sky race as soon as possible." Sky Sword Wang Ju went straight to the point. "No problem. 50 divine universe golden stones and I will agree." Qin Yun also stated his condition. "That's a bit much," Shen Changhao said with a frown. "Can't do anything about it. My Nine-Yang Divine Palace has been lacking resources recently. If Marquis Chong Hao had not agreed to stay behind to protect the Nine-Yang Divine Palace, I would not have caused trouble everywhere." Qin Yun sighed. Shen Changhao and the others cursed in their hearts. The protection provided by the Divine Sky Race was just SOSO in Qin Yun's eyes. If it was before, it would have been useful. But now, it would be useless against the Nine Heavens demon race. Therefore, he decided to take advantage of the situation and ask for some divine universe golden stones. His new 9-dragon heavenly origin formation consumed a lot of divine universe golden stones. A very young duke from the Nine-Yang heavenly race sneered and said, "Palace King Nine-Yang, you should know your current situation. Don't be so arrogant." "Arrogant?" Qin Yun narrowed his eyes and said with a smile, "How am I arrogant? When I am arrogant, people will die. You have never seen me arrogant, right? Do you want to see it?" The Duke of the Nine Shades race said, "Palace King Nine-Yang, in your current situation, it is best not to make enemies with strong races. Regarding Marquis Chong Hao's matter, you should be more generous. This way, you can make friends with the Divine Sky race and look after them in the future. You strong races are dispensable in my eyes. There is no meaning in making friends with you." Qin Yun sneered and said, "Just 50 divine universe golden stones." The Duke of the Heavenly Devil God race said, "Palace King Nine-Yang, I think you are very curious as to why we are here, right?" "I am not curious at all." "Don't tell me." Qin Yun looked at the heavenly sword Wangjue and said with a smile, Wangjue, quickly make your decision. My time is very precious, don't waste it. The heavenly sword Wangjue hesitated and did not reply. The Duke of the Nine-Yang heavenly race said coldly, Palace King Nine-Yang, do you think that the heavenly sword Wangjue's time is not precious? He has wasted many days to see you, and yet you speak to a Wangjue with such an attitude? What does it have to do with me whether his time is precious or not? He is the one who needs my help. Isn't it only right for him to sacrifice some time? Qin Yun said unhappily, all of you shut up. The divine sky race has not even let out a fart, and you are already in such a rush to suck up to them? These dukes wanted to help the heavenly sword Wangjue lower the price and curry favor with him. How could Qin Yun not see through it? Even if I give you 500 divine universe golden stones, it will be useless. Your Nine-Yang sacred hall will be destroyed. The Duke of the Nine-Yang heavenly race sneered. Once Marquis Chang Hao and the others leave, the primal chaos race, divine star race, and divine sword race will definitely attack. The Duke of the Nine Shades race also said, Palace King Nine-Yang, you cannot break through. Don't struggle. It would be best if you disband the Nine-Yang sacred hall and leave the Nine Heavens demon race. Just obediently hide away. Qin Yun suddenly said, all right, I don't want 50 divine universe golden stones. The dukes immediately smiled, thinking that their words had an effect. The heavenly sword Wangjue revealed a trace of joy. Qin Yun said with a smile, I regret it now. I want 100 divine universe golden stones. Without 100 divine universe golden stones, I will not break the soul contract with Marquis Chang Hao. It's settled. The faces of the people present changed instantly. This was especially true for the dukes. They were embarrassed because Qin Yun had suddenly increased the price. Clearly, the words they had just spoken had made Qin Yun very unhappy. 100 it is. The heavenly sword Wangjue sighed. Palace King Nine-Yang, your actions will only make the divine sky race's Tharch have an even worse impression of you. Whatever. The Nine Heavens Demon Emperor's impression of me is even worse. I am not afraid of him. Qin Yun said indifferently. I don't care what others think of me. The Nine Heavens Demon Emperor is very strong. The race emperors of the various races do not dare to easily fight him. But Qin Yun pierced through the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor's head, so he has nothing to fear. The heavenly sword Wangjue said, this time, the divine sky race's Tharch sent me here to test your attitude. If you are willing to break the soul contract peacefully, you will leave a good impression on the Tharch. The Nine-Yang heavenly race's young duke shook his head and smiled. The Tharch gave him a chance, but he doesn't know how to cherish it. Shin Ruoming also said, Qin Yun, don't miss the chance to get to know the Tharch just for 100 divine universe golden stones. I know many experts of the same level as him. If I get to know him, will he give me 100 divine universe golden stones? If I get to know him, will he be willing to fight the Nine Heavens Demon Emperor? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, less nonsense. Hurry up and give me 100 divine universe golden stones. If you don't, I will raise the price. Enough. The heavenly sword Wangjue said, I don't have that many. I need the race emperor's permission. I will go back and report to him. Qin Yun sneered and said, Wangjue? You can't even take out 100 divine universe golden stones? How wretched. The Nine-Yang heavenly race's young duke suddenly stood up and shouted, don't be arrogant. 100 divine universe golden stones is not a small number. Let alone a Wangjue, even you can't take out that much in a short time, right? Why can't I take it out? Qin Yun laughed and took out a box. Then, he used powerful gravity to make the 200 divine universe golden stones float out. With his current strength, he can easily make the divine universe golden stones float. Seeing the 200 divine universe golden stones, the dukes are dumbfounded. Qin Yun put away the divine universe golden stones and said, "The discussion is over. You can leave now. When you give me the divine universe golden stones, I will break the soul contract." "So what if you have more divine universe golden stones? You missed the opportunity to get to know the divine sky races Tharch. No amount of divine universe golden stones can buy that. Moreover, you left a very bad impression on the divine sky races Tharch." The young duke sneered. "You really don't know how to manage your connections." The heavenly sword Wangjue was about to turn and leave when he suddenly saw a door. He frowned and said, "Someone's behind that door?" The Nine-Yang heavenly race's duke was immediately enraged. "Palace King Nine-Yang, what is the meaning of this? How can you let someone eavesdrop on us at this kind of occasion? We're all people of status. Could it be that the person behind the door who's eavesdropping is a servant? Lowly servants are not qualified to listen in on our conversation." The heavenly demon celestial race's duke looked coldly at the door. "Hurry up and have that person come out." The Nine-Yang heavenly race's young duke shouted coldly. "This duke will never let lowly fools eavesdrop on me." Behind the door was Bai Suxin. She was on the same level as the race Thearch. Qin Yun looked at the door and said, "All right, then go and capture the person who is eavesdropping. You guys who think that your status is high and mighty, if you can defeat her, I don't want those 100 divine universe golden stones." "Really?" The Nine-Yang heavenly race's duke had already taken out his weapon. "Don't act recklessly," the heavenly sword Wangjue suddenly said in a deep voice. Chapter 2283. After Lan Tianyu exploded, all the powerful races wanted to grasp more heavenly law divine runes, so they sent people to communicate with White Sun Divine Realm and Three Eye Divine Realm. In order to show their sincerity, their clan emperor personally went to meet Bai Suxin and Three Eye King. Only the emperor brought Wang Ju to meet her, which was why there were not many people from the powerful races who had seen Bai Suxin before. Even Heavenly Sword Wang Ju only saw Bai Suxin wearing a mask. He only felt that the aura of White Sun Divine Power was very similar to Bai Suxin's. If the people of White Sun Divine Realm were not weak, their White Sun Divine Power would be very strong. Therefore, Heavenly Sword Wang Ju could not be sure that the person in that room was Bai Suxin, because in his opinion, Bai Suxin is a high and mighty White Sun King. He would not hide in a room, especially in Qin Yun's territory. Qin Yun is the Nine Sun Palace King, but in many people's eyes, he is at most a king. His status is far inferior to the clan emperors. Heavenly Sword Wang Ju does not mind people eavesdropping, but the other dukes are different. In the eyes of those powerful races, the people of Divine Desolate are all fools. Especially people with the status of dukes, they look down on the ordinary people of Divine Desolate. They care a lot about their status and will always keep a distance from the weak. The young duke walked toward the door with a furious expression and kicked it open with great force. The other dukes looked at the door with cold expressions. A white-haired woman in a white dress wearing a mask was sitting on a chair in the room. Seeing this white-haired woman, Heavenly Sword Wang Ju is immediately startled. His eyes revealed a trace of fear. His heart is extremely shocked. He really can't believe that White Sun King is actually here. This woman looks very strong. The young duke said with sneer, "As long as we can defeat her, Heavenly Sword Wang Ju doesn't need to give that guy 100 Divine Universe Golden Stones. Look at her white hair. It's most likely because her cultivation has been stagnant for many years and has declined. Her strength is definitely very ordinary." The duke in the heavenly devil voice said. Bai Suxin very calmly sat on a chair in the room. She clearly heard the conversation outside. She is also very unhappy in her heart because those dukes are very arrogant, especially when speaking to Qin Yun, they are very rude. This made her very angry. At that moment, the celestial sword Wangjue rushed forward and stood in front of the dukes. He said, "Everyone, this is my business. You don't have to do anything. Sky Sword Wang Ju knew that Bai Suxin was in the Nine Yang Divine Palace and definitely didn't want anyone to know, so he revealed that it was Duke White Sunday. Is that so? Are you planning to do it yourself? The young duke from the Nine Sons Heavenly Clan laughed. No, that's it. Sky Sword Wang Ju was about to close the door, but Qin Yun suddenly stood beside it. Qin Yun looked at the young duke and said, You opened the door so rudely and disturbed the people inside. Do you want to let it go? She was eavesdropping on us. We're all dukes and kings. How honorable are our statuses. A person of unknown origin like her doesn't have the right to listen to our conversation. The young duke said coldly, Hall King Nine Yang, why did you arrange for this person to eavesdrop? Bai Suxin suddenly stood up and walked out. She said with an ice-cold voice, Honorable status? What makes you think that your status is honorable? Based on strength? Sky Sword Wang Ju's forehead immediately became covered in sweat. He quickly said in a low voice, Duke White's son, please calm down. We really didn't know you were here. We are truly sorry for disturbing you. The expressions of the dukes, Shen Ruoming and Shen Changhao changed. They looked at the bowing Sky Sword Wang Ju and then at Bai Suxin. This woman is actually Duke White's son. In terms of status, let alone dukes, even the Sky Sword Wang Ju is inferior to Duke White's son. Duke White's son is an expert on equal footing with their clan emperor. The expressions of the dukes became extremely unsightly. They quickly bowed and apologized, almost kneeling down. At the same time they are afraid, they are also very puzzled. Why is Duke White's son in the Nine Yang Divine Palace? It must be known that their clan emperors have invited Duke White's son to their places as a guest. However, Duke White's son refused to go. It is said that he didn't even go to the Divine Moon clan. But Duke White's son came to the Nine Yang Divine Palace. Everyone knows that the Nine Yang Divine Palace is a very dangerous place, because the Nine Heavens demon race, primal chaos race and other powerful races can attack at any time. Bai Suxin's appearance here is very unimaginable. Bai Suxin did not say anything, she only coldly snorted, then walked to the large chair at the front of the hall and sat down. The dukes still do not believe that the masked woman in front of them is Duke White Sunday. However, the Sky Sword Wang Ju would not lie to them. Even the Sky Sword Wang Ju is so humble, it can be seen that she is really Duke White's son. Duke White's son, why are you looking for the Nine Yang Palace King? Our Nine Yang Heavenly Clan is very strong. We welcome you at any time. The Nine Yang Heavenly Clan's duke's face is full of smiles. I am looking for the Nine Yang Palace King. What does that have to do with you? Bai Suxin coldly said, Nine Yang Heavenly Clan? I am too lazy to go. The expressions of the two Nine Yang Heavenly Clan's dukes are very unsightly. However, they still have a smile on their faces. They are secretly afraid because they have offended Duke White's son. If their clan emperor finds out, they will definitely be punished. They might not even be able to keep their titles. Duke White's son came here to accompany me in cultivation. Qin Yun smiled and walked to Bai Suxin's side. Accompany her to cultivate? This immediately caused people's imagination to roam. Qin Yun suddenly sat down next to Bai Suxin and squeezed into the chair with her. The Sky Sword Wang Ju jumped in fright. The few dukes are also dumbfounded. They all heard that Duke White's son is a city-toppling beauty, but now she can actually endure sitting together with someone else. Bai Suxin also cursed Qin Yun in her heart. He actually dared to be so intimate with her in public. What made her most speechless is that Qin Yun's hand is still on her thigh. This caused the Sky Sword Wang Ju and the others to be so shocked that their eyeballs almost popped out. They all suspected that this woman is Duke White Sunday. How can she be so intimate with someone with such low cultivation? Qin Yun chuckled and said, Duke White's son is also my woman. She listened to our conversation from the side. There is nothing wrong with that. Duke White's son is his woman? The Sky Sword Wang Ju and the others all suspected that they heard wrong. Shen Ruoming cursed in his heart. He knows that Qin Yun has a good relationship with a few Nine Sun Divine Maiden. None of you are allowed to speak of the matter of me being in the Nine Yang Divine Palace. Bai Suxin released her aura. That kind of super-strong divine power pressure enveloped the entire hall. The expressions of the Sky Sword Wang Ju and the few dukes suddenly changed. They are now sure that this is Duke White Sun, whose strength is comparable to the clan emperor. Just now, Shen Ruoming almost vomited blood because of that pressure. He is truly terrifyingly powerful. Little Queen, don't be angry. It's easy to get wrinkles when you are angry. Qin Yun pinched Bai Suxin's delicate lily-white hand and gently stroked the back of her hand. The Sky Sword Wang Ju and the others are very tactful. They obediently signed the soul contract and will never speak of this matter. You can leave now. Heavenly Sword Wang Ju, you have to choose the best 100 Divine Universe Golden Stones for my big brother. Bai Suxin instructed. Little brother? The fact that Duke White Sun called the Nine Yang Palace King Little Brother caused the king's and duke's hearts to tremble once again. They really want to know how Qin Yun, the Nine Yang Palace King, got along with Duke White Sun. Yes, the Sky Sword Wang Ju promptly nodded and then hastily left the Heavenly Palace Pavilion. After those people left, Qin Yun promptly took off her mask and said with smile, "My little queen, you are quite proper. You are truly too mischievous." Bai Suxin lightly snorted and then pinched his thigh. She wanted to leave the chair, but Qin Yun suddenly hugged her slender waist. "My little queen, thank you." Qin Yun hugged her tightly and did not let her go. He even leaned over and kissed her fragrant face. Bai Suxin can only give him a tooth for a tooth. She randomly pinched and rubbed Qin Yun's body. After the two of them played around for a while, they stopped and hugged each other. "Stop messing around, quickly help me break the Heavenly Law seal." Bai Suxin angrily laughed and then kissed Qin Yun's face. "Is this okay?" Qin Yun released the beauty in his arms and said with smile, "Take out the Heavenly Law Inheritance Pearl." Bai Suxin has 2 Heavenly Law Inheritance Pearl in her hand. She took out the biggest one and gave it to Qin Yun. Qin Yun has seen this Heavenly Law Inheritance Pearl before. It is bigger than 3 Eye Kings. Is it here? I remember when you broke 3 Eye King's seal last time, you created a great commotion. Bai Suxin feels that this hall is not enough. Let's go to another place." Qin Yun pulled Bai Suxin's hand and teleported to a very spacious hall. When breaking the Heavenly Law seal, the energy inside the Heavenly Law Inheritance Pearl will burst out and need to be suppressed by the 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation. Qin Yun opened one before, so he is very experienced now. After he released the 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation, he began carving Nether Sun totems. He wants to devour the runes inside to break the Heavenly Law seal. Your 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation seems to be stronger than before. Bai Suxin looked at the 9 altars. Although there is no change on the outside, she can sense it. It is a bit stronger. Qin Yun said, "Little Queen, your Heavenly Law Inheritance Pearl is very big. The Heavenly Law Inheritance inside is very strong. Wait until you fuse with it. If there is anything wrong, immediately tell me." Bai Suxin is beside Qin Yun. She promptly hugged Qin Yun's waist and said in soft voice, "You must accompany me." This cold and elegant noble White Sun monarch is like a young girl sticking to Qin Yun's side. She is very delicate. It truly surprised Qin Yun. "I will accompany you." Qin Yun kissed Bai Suxin's forehead and said with smile. Not long after, Qin Yun broke the Heavenly Law seal. The Heavenly Law Inheritance Pearl suddenly burst out with very strong power. Qin Yun promptly brought Bai Suxin outside the 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation and waited for the Heavenly Law Inheritance to appear. With the 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation suppressing the explosive power, the hall can be protected. Chapter 2284. Bai Suxin's heavenly law inheritance pearl is much bigger than 3 King's. So after the heavenly law seal was broken, the power released is also very strong. Qin Yun is standing outside the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation and secretly sensed the energy inside. He is very shocked. After his 9-dragon heavenly origin formation was modified, it became a lot stronger. But now, he could only barely hold on. The energy released by the heavenly law inheritance pearl is so strong that even the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation almost can't hold on. If it was his old 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, it would definitely not be able to hold on. Bai Suxin bit her lower lip and tightly held Qin Yun's hand. Her beautiful eyes are staring inside the formation, her expression is very worried. She can see that Qin Yun's 9-dragon heavenly origin formation is very strong, but now it is very strenuous. Heavenly Law Inheritance Pearl is releasing energy from time to time and attacking the formation. Little big brother, won't it break your formation? Bai Suxin said with frown. Your formation is very important to you, if it breaks, I will feel very apologetic. It's fine, it won't break. Qin Yun said with smile. Yuelon told me that this formation is your protective talisman. Bai Suxin is even more worried. She can't help but think in a bad direction. I have a lot of protective talismans. Qin Yun laughed, then hugged her soft and slender waist and said, Don't worry, it will definitely work. Bai Suxin truly cares about Qin Yun, that is why she is very worried now. Little Queen, aren't there a few people from Divine World in Heavenly Law Universe? Apart from White Sun Divine World, 3 Divine World and Golden Wing Divine World, what about the other Divine Worlds people? Did they join Heavenly Law Hall? Qin Yun suddenly asked. The sky cities of those 3 people from the immortal realm were controlled by Heavenly Law Hall and Mystic Academy. All the people inside were killed and fed to the divine monsters of the 9 heavens. Bai Suxin sighed airily. My White Sun City was nearly killed. Qin Yun sighed. This is truly beyond my expectation. Oh right, they wanted to attack White Sun Heavenly City? When did that happen? Bai Suxin's beautiful eyes were filled with gratitude. She said, when the Sorcerer Academy's Dean Ling Lei brought his people here. They planned to attack White Sun City and 3 Sky City at that time. Qin Yun recalled the situation back then. Ling Lei had secretly built a good relationship with many people. If Qin Yun had not been there that day, the Magic Academy might have already invaded White Yang Heaven City. When the 3 King recalled this matter, he was also very grateful to you. Bai Suxin smiled faintly and said, That guy's strength isn't much, but he's very good at pretending, causing quite a number of imperial emperors to think that he's very powerful. When the 3-eyed king put on his disguise, he could indeed give off the aura of an unparalleled expert. Coupled with the special ability of his 3rd eye, it made people feel that he was very strong. I heard that there are large amount of Heavenly Law inheritance beads scattered all over Divine Desolate. 3 King should have a way to obtain them. Qin Yun said. Yes, I have also sent people to collect them secretly. Bai Suxin nodded and said, Mister, I still have a pearl of Heavenly Law inheritance. I'll give it to you. First take a look at how this pearl of Heavenly Law inheritance is like. If it's not good, then the second pearl will be very important to you. Qin Yun said. Bai Suxin is indeed very strong, but she is still lacking when facing a 9 Heavens Demon Emperor. This is also because she doesn't have a Heavenly Law inheritance. Therefore, she wants to quickly grasp the Heavenly Law inheritance. Later when facing a 9 Heavens Divine Demon, she won't be so powerless. Qin Yun is secretly rejoicing. He modified the 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation to help Bai Suxin. If it was the old 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation, it would not have been able to hold on. He and Bai Suxin are also very curious about what this Heavenly Law inheritance is. Why does the pearl containing the heavenly law inheritance have such formidable energy? What's going on with these heavenly law inheritance pearls? Why do they have this kind of destructive power inside? Qin Yun said with frown. Are all heavenly law inheritance pearls like this? Bai Suxin shook her head and said, No, I asked Dragon Hall's people. They said that only a small portion of heavenly law inheritance pearls are like this. Generally speaking, the bigger ones are like this. Big inheritance pearls should be very rare, right? Qin Yun said. And my other inheritance pearl is also very small. Bai Suxin said. Only Dragon Hall, Heavenly Law Hall and Devil Hall can break the Heavenly Law Seal, but they can't deal with this kind of big inheritance pearl. Qin Yun said. Then what about this small inheritance pearl? Can they easily break it? Bai Suxin looked at the 9 dragon heavenly origin formations flickering intense light and shook her head. It won't be easy. The 9 dragon heavenly origin formations intense light burst out, white and blue energy mist surged up and down. Qin Yun can now sense that the 9 dragon heavenly origin formations pressure is gradually reducing. It's almost done. Qin Yun promptly held Bai Suxin's hand tightly. Bai Suxin can also see that the energy is starting to shrink. Let's go in. Qin Yun decisively rushed into the formation with Bai Suxin. After entering, they sensed a boundless energy pressure pressing down on them. Their bodies feel like they are being attacked by a very strong energy wave. They feel like they are being torn apart. Quickly receive the inheritance, Qin Yun shouted. Bai Suxin released powerful white sun divine power and walked forward while withstanding the pressure. Qin Yun followed behind her and held her hand tightly. Ah! Bai Suxin suddenly cried out. A large amount of powerful light suddenly surged to her heart and tore through the clothes and skin over her heart. Little Queen, how are you? Qin Yun is very shocked. He really did not expect that this heavenly law inheritance would be so terrifying. It can directly enter Bai Suxin's heart. I can hold on. Bai Suxin is also a person who has experienced great storms and waves, she said in a low voice. What is this? Do you feel anything now? Qin Yun asked in puzzlement. My heart is changing. This heavenly law inheritance is not like Heaven Universe Divine Mantra. It should be something else. Bai Suxin lowered her head and looked at her heart. Her clothes have already been torn and the white-blue light is pouring into her heart. Very soon, the white-blue energy in the formation all entered Bai Suxin's heart. Succeeded? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. Just as Bai Suxin finished speaking, a white-blue energy wave shot out from her body. Qin Yun was hit by the energy wave. His soul and body are in extreme pain, causing him to lose consciousness in an instant. Boom! Qin Yun was sent flying. His body crashed into the barrier of the formation. Little brother! Bai Suxin shouted in alarm. Are you all right? Qin Yun woke up in a daze. He immediately shook his head and said, I'm fine. At this moment, a blue light beam suddenly shot out from Bai Suxin's heart. This shocked Bai Suxin so much that she shouted loudly because the light beam was aimed at Qin Yun. Just as Qin Yun crawled up from the ground, the blue light beam shot over and hit his heart. In that instant, Qin Yun's body could not move. He felt as if his heart was about to be torn apart. He has a very powerful sun core, but now it seems like it has been crushed. Little brother, what's going on? Bai Suxin's face is pale from fright. Her beautiful eyes are filled with tears. She is worried that she will kill Qin Yun. I'm fine. Qin Yun endured the pain and said. Qin Yun stood on the spot, facing Bai Suxin. They are separated by more than 10 meters. There is a blue light beam connected to their hearts. My heart is severely injured. Quickly release white sun divine power. Help me recover. Qin Yun quickly shouted. All right. Just as Bai Suxin finished speaking, a white light beam surged out from her heart and hit Qin Yun's heart. Qin Yun suddenly felt a suction force. His body involuntarily floated towards Bai Suxin. In the blink of an eye, he flew over. When he was about to crash, he quickly hugged Bai Suxin's delicate body. Bai Suxin also hugged him tightly. Their hearts seemed to be closely connected at this moment. Scared me to death. Bai Suxin can feel that Qin Yun's heart is gradually getting better. This heavenly law inheritance is really strange. Qin Yun lightly patted her back and said with a smile, "It's all right, I just don't know what will happen next." Their hearts seem to have a suction force, causing them to stick closely to each other, unable to separate for a period of time. They can feel that there are two types of energy connected to their hearts. "It's good that you are fine." Bai Suxin sighed softly. Her white sun divine power is also helping Qin Yun's heart recover. Right now they are hugging each other tightly, their eyes are staring at each other. Bai Suxin's watery beautiful eyes shone with a hint of affection, causing her to suddenly feel shy. She can't help but avoid his gaze. Qin Yun inhaled a breath of the beauty's fragrance, then kissed her red lips. Both of them can't help but sink into a strange, deep love. They don't know how much time has passed. When they separated, the energy connected to their hearts has already stopped. Heavenly law heart-soul? I didn't expect it to be this kind of heavenly law inheritance. Qin Yun exclaimed in surprise. Just now, both he and Bai Suxin felt some information appear in their mind. Yes, we both obtained heavenly law heart-soul. It's really strange, why did we both obtain it? Bai Suxin's plump and tender face showed a sweet smile. Just now, our hearts were connected. Could it be because of this? Qin Yun hugged Bai Suxin again and said with a smile. "Humph, you took the chance to bully me." Bai Suxin spat in a low voice, then used her hand to touch Qin Yun's chest and said, "This heavenly law heart-soul can let people comprehend heavenly law inheritance. It's very good." Qin Yun nodded and said, "Now I suddenly understand a lot more about heavenly universe fire incantation. I can use it even better. This heavenly law heart-soul is really useful. My heavenly law heart-soul should be the same as yours." Qin Yun also touched her chest. He has the same feeling. Chapter 2285. There were many types of heavenly law inheritances. For example, Xie Wufeng, the Divine Inquisitor, and Yun Long had all received different heavenly law inheritances, and they were specially created to suit them. The celestial universe fire hex that Qin Yun obtained, as well as the heavenly Dharma heart soul, were of different type. The heavenly law soul could be said to not have much power, but it could make it easier for people to comprehend the heavenly law inheritance. One must know that there were many people who were unable to unleash the full power of the heavenly legacy even after obtaining it. This was mainly because they were unable to comprehend it. Successfully comprehending it was a very mysterious matter. Even if one studied it diligently, it was not that easy to grasp. Now, since Qin Yun and Bai Suxin possess a heavenly Dharma heart soul, they have a very high level of comprehension towards heavenly Dharma legacies. Other than gaining insights, Qin Yun felt that the heavenly Dharma heart soul definitely had other abilities that they had yet to discover. Qin Yun brought out a robe and wrapped it around Bai Suxin's upper body. Just now, when she collected her heavenly law's soul, her clothes were torn. "Thank you." Bai Suxin smiled sweetly. "Young Yun, I still have a heavenly law inheritance pearl. Hurry up and open it." She took out another bead of heavenly law inheritance. It was very small, about the size of a walnut. Qin Yun took a look and said, "It's really small, I wonder what kind of heavenly law inheritance it has." He took out the floating cloud divine needle, and began to carve the nether sun totem on the small pearl. It's such a small pearl of heavenly law inheritance. It shouldn't be as powerful as before, right? Bai Suxin was worried that it would release a very powerful force like before. "I don't know, but we still have to be on guard." Qin Yun has already prepared to defend. He quickly carved a nether sun totem and began to devour the heavenly law seal runes inside. The heavenly law seal within the small bead was not very strong and was quickly devoured. The small bead suddenly exploded and a ball of light appeared. That ball of light has many strange runes intertwining together, condensing into a ball like a ball of thread. It is extremely chaotic. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye to take a look and said in shock, "This is a complete set of Heavenly Law Divine Rune. I wonder what kind of Heavenly Law Divine Rune it is." "You can have it," Bai Suxin said with a smile. "Suxin, you haven't inherited the Heavenly Law yet. The Heavenly Law Heart Spirit doesn't have any power, it can only let you comprehend how to use the Heavenly Law inheritance." Qin Yun took out a pearl and stored the Heavenly Law Divine Rune before handing it over to Imo. This little fairy could figure out the effects of the Heavenly Law Divine Rune, and then quickly pass it to him. "There's no hurry. There are many beads of Heavenly Law inheritance in the Divine Wilderness. I will have the chance to get them," Bai Suxin said. Yuelon, Yueme and the other 9 Sun Divine Maidens obtained the Heavenly Law inheritance, but they can't use it. I might be able to guide them. "By the way, why do you want to recognize Yueme as your goddaughter?" he asked. "Is there a legend regarding the 9 Sun Divine Maiden in the White Sun Divine world?" "Yes, the 9 Sun Divine Maiden is a very special existence. I heard about it when I was in the White Sun Divine world. Of course, not many people in the White Sun Divine realm know about this." Bai Suxin said, "I only know that once the Divine Lady of Nine Yang reaches the Transcendent Realm, she will become very strong. She will be of great help to my cultivation of White Yang." "Helpless?" Qin Yun nodded and said, "Suxin, you should stay in the Nine Yang Divine Palace for a period of time. I will have Yuelon and the others come over and see if you can guide them in cultivating the Heavenly Law inheritance." "You want to go out? Where are you going?" Bai Suxin asked. "I want to find the Divine Moon Race's Emperor." "Oh, that's right. Have you seen the Divine Moon Race's Emperor?" Qin Yun asked. "I saw her once. She is a very powerful woman. She seems to be more powerful than me. She was very polite to me," Bai Suxin said. "Then have you seen her appearance?" Qin Yun asked again. "I have, she is very beautiful." Bai Suxin laughed and said, "Xiao Yun, this Divine Moon Race's Emperor is not like me, she is not easy to bully. Moreover, she hates men, she told me that." Qin Yun said with mischievous laugh, "She definitely won't hate a man as charming as me." Bai Suxin covered her mouth and laughed lightly. "You are wrong, she said that she hates you, the Nine Yang Palace King." "She hates me? I have never seen her. Why would she say that she hates me?" Qin Yun said. "I have mentioned you in front of her. She blames you for being too close to Nine Yang Divine Maiden and even seducing her disciple Yu Huashu." Bai Suxin pinched Qin Yun and said with smile, "Look at you, flirting with flowers and grass, her master is not happy." Qin Yun unhappily said, "It was that girl Huashue who stuck to me, she even took the initiative to call me Big Brother. Big Brother Yun is calling me very sweetly. It was clearly Huashue who seduced me first, she wanted me to give her pointers on runes." The more he spoke, the angrier he became. He mumbled, "This Divine Moon Race's Emperor is really something. I kindly gave pointers to her disciple, but she actually said bad things about me behind my back and even hates me. Xiao Yun, why are you looking for the Divine Moon Race's Emperor? I heard from other races' emperors that it is very difficult to see her. Other races' emperors are all men, none of them have seen her appearance. It is also because I am a woman that she showed her face in front of me." Bai Suxin asked, "Maybe she can help me break through and break the curse of 10 images." Qin Yun spread his hands and said with smile, "I have to give it a try, so I want to go talk to her." "Is that so?" Bai Suxin said with frown, "But I can sense that she is very against you. This will be troublesome." "Then can you see her? Help me ask her." Qin Yun said. "She did not give me any contact information. Last time I saw her, it was because Yu Clan's Wind Moon King brought me there." Bai Suxin shook her head. All right, I will think of a way to find her. Qin Yun said with smile. Sushin, we still haven't started cultivating. Indeed. Then let's start now. Bai Sushin promptly released her White Sunday. Qin Yun also released Nether Sun and let it fuse with White Sunday. And Qin Yun and Bai Sushin are sitting on the side watching. Bai Sushin is leaning on Qin Yun's shoulder and hugging him. Both of them look like they are in their honeymoon phase. They are very intimate. Xiao Yun, Yuelan said that she wants to pass down Sun Moon Heart Sutra to me. She said that we can cultivate together. Bai Sushin said. Wait until we finish cultivating. I will inform Guang Han Palace's side. Tell them to quickly come to Nine Yang Divine Palace with Heavenly Law Inheritance. When the time comes, you can guide them in cultivating Heavenly Law Inheritance and also learn Sun Moon Heart Sutra. Qin Yun said. Bai Sushin placed her lily-white hand on Qin Yun's hand and gently caressed it. She asked, Xiao Yun, how is your control over Heavenly Universe Fire Curse? Qin Yun needs Nether Sun's power to use Heavenly Universe Fire Curse. Nether Sun is currently cultivating, so he cannot use it now. Because I have Heavenly Law Heart Spirit, I can control Heavenly Universe Fire Curse even more freely. I don't need to seal it like before. I can control the strength of Heavenly Universe Fire Curse. Moreover, Heavenly Universe Fire Curse can also be fused with my various cultivation technique. That's about it, Qin Yun said. It seems like as long as you break through, you will be able to deal with 9 Heavens Demon Emperor. This guy is too strong. Even if many race emperors join hands, they won't be able to kill him. Bai Sushin kissed Qin Yun's face and said with smile. Only my little big brother can make 9 Heavens Demon Emperor suffer a great loss. Qin Yun hugged Bai Sushin tightly and asked, Sushin, why are you willing to be with me? You are White Sun Duke, don't you despise me? Bai Sushin looked at White Sun and Nether Sun floating in front of her and said with gentle smile, Because my White Sun, it seems like I am destined to be with you. You are the only one who can make me stronger. Maybe because my White Sun likes to be close to you, I also want to be with you. Although Bai Sushin is valued by many race emperors, she feels that her strength is still not enough. The main thing is that she still can't break through to Sacred God Realm. She is currently at peak Sacred God Realm, just one step away from breaking through, and when she cultivated with Qin Yun's Nether Sun, she felt that she has made great progress. So long as she breaks through, her strength will truly be comparable to those race emperors. Qin Yun and Bai Sushin cultivated together for 3 days before stopping. White Sun and Nether Sun automatically separated. Bai Sushin entered a chamber to carry out the next step of her training. After nighttime, Qin Yun arrived outside of Nine Yang Divine Palace. He took out a beast skin formation and contacted Divine Moon's Guang Han Palace. Soon, he got in touch with Little Phoenix. Brother Xiao Yun, you are finally here. Little Phoenix said very anxiously. There is news of Divine Moon Race Emperor, but this is her whereabouts from 4 days ago. I don't know if she is still there or not. Where is she? Qin Yun hastily asked. In Divine Sun Race's territory, Divine Sun Heavenly Sea. Big Sister Yu Tian told me that Divine Moon Race, Dragon Hall, Heaven Creation Divine Palace and Myriad Realms Divine Court were suddenly called over by Divine Sun Race. Little Phoenix said, I don't know what is going on either. Yu Tian also doesn't know what is going on. Qin Yun feels that it is a bit strange. Yu Tian is the palace master of Heaven Creation Divine Palace. It is impossible for her not to know. Divine Sun Race said that it is a very important matter, so Big Sister Yu Tian sent people from Heaven Creation Divine Palace over. She said that Big Sister Yang is also there. Little Phoenix said. Qin Yun has not seen Yang Shuriwe for a very long time. After knowing that Yang Shuriwe is also in Divine Sun Heavenly Sea, he decided to go. Regardless of whether the Divine Moon Race Emperor is there or not, he must go find Yang Shuriwe. Soon after, Qin Yun asked Little Phoenix to tell Xiao Yuelon and Yu Shi to come to Nine Yang Divine Palace to find Bai Suxin when they have time. Qin Yun arranged some matters in Nine Yang Divine Palace, and then helped the disciples carve runes. 2 days later, Bai Suxin came out of the secret room. Qin Yun and Bai Suxin were intimate for a while, then he bid farewell to her and left for Divine Sun Heavenly Sea. With Bai Suxin in Nine Yang Divine Palace, Qin Yun felt a lot more at ease. Divine Sun Heavenly Sea is a very strange sea. The sea surface is not flat, it is a slope, but the water surface does not slide down. After entering the sea and climbing the slope, one will go higher and higher. It is said that the distance of this sea is very high and many huge stars can be seen. It is very close to Myriad Realms Divine Sunday. Chapter 2286. Qin Yun sat inside the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew towards the Divine Yang Heavenly Sea. A few days later, he saw a sea in front of him. It indeed looks like it has a bit of a slope. Is the Divine Yang Heavenly Sea really as magical as Yuelon said? It looks like it's just a little bit of a slope. Qin Yun came out of the heaven-leaping shuttle and looked into the distance from high up in the sky. Maybe it's just like what Yuelon said after we enter the interior. Ling Yuner said with smile. Xiao Yun, hurry up. Don't you miss Big Sister Yang a lot? Qin Yun immediately returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle and said, Great Beauty Yuner, your body is about to be cultivated. When the time comes, you must behave yourself and don't jump around everywhere. Ling Yuner said with great anticipation, I know, I will definitely be very obedient. Oh right, my fairy body's figure is very good, right? Help me make it better, I want a very hot body. Why do you need to be so hot? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, You look so cute, your figure is ordinary, it's more suitable for your lovely face. Just make it like a washboard, it'll save me a lot of trouble. No, no, if you dare make me into a washboard, I'll beat you to death. Ling Yuner said frantically. Qin Yun said with smile, Great Beauty Yuner, you must know that cultivating a fairy body, every drop of blood and every 2 drops of flesh consumes a lot of my energy and also takes a lot of time to condense. If you have too high of a requirement for your body, it will affect your progress. Ling Yuner cried out resentfully, I'd rather wait a little longer than be a flat princess. Qin Yun chuckled non-stop. He suddenly felt that teasing this rogue fairy Ling Yuner is quite fun. The heaven-leaping shuttle has already flown above the Divine Yang Heavenly Sea. Little fairy Momo, who is inside the Nine Sun Divine Spirit, has also thoroughly studied the Heavenly Law Divine Rune. That Heavenly Law Divine Rune is from Bai Suxin's second inheritance pearl. Big brother, that Heavenly Law Divine Rune turned into a hammer in the end. Momo flew out and stood on Qin Yun's palm. She said with a sweet smile, You can take back the original Heavenly Law Divine Rune. At this moment she had 2 small braids. It was Yang Yang who had helped her. After Yang Yang took human form, he often helped Momo with all sorts of beautiful hairstyles. Hammer? Qin Yun took out the pearl. Inside it was the Heavenly Law Divine Rune. Heavenly Law Divine Runes are actually a type of heavenly rune. They are similar in structure to heavenly runes. Momo said, then controlled the Heavenly Law Divine Rune inside the hammer to fly out. After the Heavenly Law's divine pattern appeared, it floated in the air and transformed into a blue hammer. Qin Yun suddenly thought of something and immediately took out the Nine Sun Divine Hammer. Although the Nine Sun Divine Hammer was very powerful, there was still a lot of room for improvement. When the hammer's Heavenly Law Divine Rune and Nine Sun Divine Hammer approached each other, they actually resisted each other and were unable to fuse. Big brother, quickly use the power of the mysterious fusion Heavenly Rune. Momo hastily shouted. Otherwise, the Heavenly Law Divine Rune will dissipate. Qin Yun immediately took out the Gemini treasure mirror and used the mysterious fusion heavenly rune's power inside to illuminate the 9 sun divine hammer and the heavenly law divine rune floating in front of him. Under the illumination of the mysterious fusion heavenly rune, the 9 sun divine hammer and the heavenly law divine rune slowly fused together. Qin Yun released his powerful mental power and controlled the fusion of the two. Qin Yun doesn't know what kind of transformation will occur after the fusion. He only knows that the 9 sun divine hammer will evolve and become even stronger. If these divine weapons fuse with the heavenly law divine rune, they will be greatly strengthened. Qin Yun suddenly thought of carving heavenly law divine rune on the heaven trampling divine boots. If he carves the vibration heavenly law divine rune on the heaven trampling divine boots, the effect will be very good. Qin Yun now wears the heaven trampling divine boots all the time. After thinking about it, he also wants to carve a vibration heavenly law divine rune on them. Oh, that's right, Mo. How is your mastery of the mysterious fusion heavenly rune? Can you make these heavenly runes evolve? Qin Yun asked. I can't because the strongest state of heavenly rune is like this. Mo lightly shook her head and then said again, if heavenly rune is stored in a living being's body, it will evolve along with the living being's growth. This is indeed the case. For example, the heavenly rune beasts and divine rune beasts inside the divine rune divine mountain, their heavenly rune and divine rune, have all kind of transformation. Whether it is mysterious fusion heavenly rune or Gemini heavenly rune, they are both very useful heavenly rune. Mysterious fusion heavenly rune belongs to Yi Yaoxue and Gemini heavenly rune belongs to Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian. I have to go see Yaoxue, I have not seen her for so long. Maybe she has already forgotten about me. Qin Yun keeps thinking about Yi Yaoxue from time to time, but he has never gone to find her. The main reason is because he can't find an opportunity. Moreover, Yi Yaoxue is inside the Guanghan Palace, and he can't go there right now. Mo, you go back and play with little Jade Rabbit and the others. Qin Yun said. Big brother, little Ant Queen is about to transform. Sister Yang said that when little Ant Queen wakes up, she will be able to transform. She is sleeping inside the divine universe purple sun. Mo said with smile. Ah? When did that happen? Qin Yun looked at his spatial divine power pearls. He still has a few dozen, enough for him to use for a while. Just now. Mo said. I know. I will go to a very special place this time. I will do my best to collect some delicious food to celebrate little Ant Queen's transformation. Qin Yun said with smile. All right, thank you, big brother. Mo very happily returned to the 9 sun divine soul. 9 sun divine hammer and heavenly law divine rune fused very quickly. After fusing, the originally golden red 9 sun divine hammer turned light blue and golden red sun totem runes appeared on its surface. The sun totem runes are like abrupt veins, they look like horned dragons moving around on the surface of the divine hammer. They look even more mysterious, one can vaguely sense a formidable ancient rune power flowing around. Evolved. Qin Yun is holding the 9 sun divine hammer. He is very happy in his heart. After 9 sun divine hammer fused with heavenly law divine rune, Qin Yun can use heavenly universe fire incantation even better. Heavenly universe divine fire is very strong. If used together to forge divine weapons, the result will be very good. Qin Yun looked at the 9 sun divine hammer and said with smile, 9 heavenly divine demons, watch how my 9 sun palace king will hammer you to death. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, you can make some heavenly talismans, use heavenly law divine rune or heavenly rune to make them. They are mainly used to deal with 9 heavenly divine demons. Stick a talisman on their body and then exterminate them. Wait until I go to Divine Yang Race's island. Heavenly law divine rune is very strong, ordinary materials cannot withstand it. Qin Yun thought of the blue crystal condensed by the 9 heavenly divine demons. That kind of blue crystal can withstand heavenly law divine rune. There is also the material he condensed with the small black saber. He has a total of 10 small black sabers in his hand. He plans to try smelting all of them and see if he can forge and transform them. Just as Qin Yun is planning how to deal with the 9 heavenly divine demons, the flying heaven-leaping shuttle suddenly slowed down a bit. There is wind? Qin Yun immediately stopped the heaven-leaping shuttle. The heaven-leaping shuttle's flying speed is very fast and it has the ability to cut through the wind. It has been very stable in this sea. Now that the speed has slowed down a bit, it is clear that it has been hit by a very strong air wave. The heaven-leaping shuttle is a white gourd, flying in the sky is very conspicuous, so Qin Yun has already made the heaven-leaping shuttle invisible. But even if it is invisible, when flying at high speed, it will inevitably make a lot of noise and it will be easily discovered. Qin Yun immediately thought that the heaven-leaping shuttle has been discovered and attacked from afar. However, after the heaven-leaping shuttle stopped, it was only blown back by a wave of air. The sea is very calm and there is a slight slope. As long as one walks up the sea, they will be able to reach the Divine Yang Race's island and see the Divine Yang Peak. But now, a strange shock wave suddenly appeared. It is clear that there is a very strong divine power colliding and exploding. Someone is fighting? Qin Yun walked out of the heaven-leaping shuttle and closed his eyes to sense. It is currently afternoon, the 2 divine suns in the sky are still very dazzling, the sunlight is especially hot. Qin Yun looked up at the 2 divine suns in the sky and realized that the small myriad realm's divine sun is 1 size bigger. Looks like the 3rd divine sun is about to appear. Qin Yun can feel the shock wave rushing over. He can only sense that it is the divine power of a human. It has a faint heavenly god aura and also the aura of a sacred god. It is rushing over from a very far place. Looks like there is a very strong sacred god fighting. Qin Yun quickly returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle and continued flying forward. The Divine Yang race secretly gathered the leaders of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace, the Divine Moon race and other large factions. It is very likely that it has something to do with the appearance of the 3rd Divine Sunday. If the 3rd Divine Sun appears, there will definitely be some changes in the Divine Desolate. Qin Yun just thought of this point. I, the 9 Yang Palace King, am someone who can suppress the 9 heavens' divine demons. I also saved Xin Yu Tianlong, fought against the Heavenly Law Hall and the Primal Chaos race. I have the Divine King Heavenly Seal. Now that such a big thing is happening, they actually did not invite me. Qin Yun can deeply feel that the various race emperors are looking down on him, the 9 Yang Palace King. This reminded him of the time in the Heaven Hall Pavilion. Those dukes attached great importance to their status, to the point that they did not want to talk to lowly humans, nor did they want those lowly humans to eavesdrop on their secret conversation. Most of the upper echelons of the ancient races despise the ordinary people of the Divine Desolate. In their eyes, the humans of the Divine Desolate are no different from ants. Maybe they feel that your strength is not on the same level as theirs. Ling Yuna laughed. Those bastards, just you wait. I will cut off the 9 heavens demon emperor's bird head and show it to them. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, These pretentious race emperors are helpless against the 9 heavens demon emperor. I have a lot more methods than them. Qin Yun increased the speed of the heaven-leaping shuttle, withstood the shock waves and continued flying forward. After flying for half a day, at night, Qin Yun approached a battlefield where an intense battle was erupting. He had already kept the heaven-leaping shuttle and quietly flew over to see if he could pick up any good things. The eruption of the battle caused the sea to surge violently, sweeping up gusts of strong winds. Chapter 2287. In the afternoon, Qin Yun sensed the energy waves that erupted from the battle. Now that he is here late at night, the battle is still going on. After fighting for so long and it is so intense, Qin Yun became more cautious and slowly approached the center of the battle. After approaching, he realized that there are many people fighting. There are many big and small battles happening in many places. There are people from the Nine Sun heavenly race? Qin Yun is now sure that there are people from the Divine Moon race, Divine Sun race and Nine Sun heavenly race. Of course, they are not fighting each other, they are fighting against a strong enemy together. Ling Yuner said, "Are they fighting against the Nine Heavens divine demons?" Qin Yun shook his head. "I don't sense the aura of the Nine Heavens divine demons, it is also not the aura of other ancient races. The thing they are fighting against does not seem to be the aura of ordinary humans. God's desolate is very big, it is normal for there to be other powerful beings in this divine sun heavenly sea. Moreover, the third myriad realm's divine sun is about to appear. Before that, the entire God's desolate will be in great turmoil." As Qin Yun advanced, he carefully probed the various energy auras here and analyzed them. He is now flying towards the Divine Moon Racewoman because he suspects that there are acquaintances here. Qin Yun does not plan to make too much of a commotion, but if he meets acquaintances, he will still take action. After entering the area of the intense battle, waves of divine power roared out from all directions from time to time. There are at least dozens of battles in this area, and they are all between heavenly gods and sacred gods. Especially the sacred god power, it is especially berserk. The sacred gods of the powerful races are far from what ordinary sacred gods can compare to. When Qin Yun was the Nine Sun Palace King, he was already a sacred god, but he was far inferior to the heavenly gods or even great gods of the powerful races. But now it is different. He has the bloodline of many powerful races in his body, and he has cultivated many Tao images. Even when facing the sacred gods of the powerful races, he is invincible. I know what these strong races are fighting against. After Qin Yun approached, he also made a great discovery. "What is it?" Ling Yun asked. "Other than the Nine Heavens divine demons and other powerful races, what other races would dare to provoke the three powerful races? Divine Sun race, Divine Moon race and Nine Sun heavenly race are all very powerful races. It was obvious that they had been intercepted on the way to the island. It's someone from the magic court," Qin Yun said with a frown, "but these guys are completely different from the magicians I've come into contact with before, so there's a huge difference in their auras." After Qin Yun thoroughly analyzed those auras, he confirmed that they contained a certain amount of magical divine power. That's why he was very certain. The Sorcerer Academy of the Heavenly Law Pavilion? Wasn't their dean killed before? Ling Yuner said, "That dean is only average. The Devil Court's dean is very strong, he was not killed by Qin Yun. Qin Yun had first used the Heavenly Universe Fire incantation to burn him, then Bai Suxin had killed him with her whip. We don't have enough understanding of the magic court. Back then when Granny Tang obtained their magic bloodline, it was very important to them." Qin Yun said, "That magic bloodline also has some kind of magic inheritance. Granny Tang's daughter, Bai Qinghong, had grasped that kind of magic inheritance." Qin Yun learned from Bai Suxin that White Yang Heavenly City was being rebuilt in the Divine Wilderness and Bai Qiangshu was still the city lord. Bai Suxin also gave Bai Qiangshu a lot of authority, so Bai Qiangshu and his family's days in White Yang Heavenly City are very peaceful. Is that kind of magic really that strong? Oh, that's right. Don't you have some magic body? Ling Yun said. I also don't understand. I will go help someone first. Qin Yun flew towards the direction of the person he suspected to be acquainted with. There is a large amount of black energy ahead. Divine Moon Race's divine moon power is spreading out. That black energy is bringing along a kind of sinister and eerie feeling. It is also accompanied by a stench. Qin Yun frowned and entered the black energy. After entering, he sensed a kind of flame filled with evil aura attacking him. After the flame approached his body, it suddenly dispersed. It didn't dare to approach him. What kind of magic is this? Qin Yun is suspicious in his heart. He never heard Bai Qinghong talk about this before. The reason why Qin Yun can't recognize the aura of the magic divine power here is because it is too evil. This kind of dense evil aura completely covered up the aura of the magic divine power. Qin Yun passed through the black mist and saw a person wearing a black magic robe, wearing a magic hat and holding a magic staff with a red skull on it. This is a magician. He is floating in the air, sitting on a large crystal ball. He is constantly waving his magic staff, releasing waves of red wind. This blood-red wind looks like a malevolent and frightening evil spirit, letting out a hair-raising howl. This blood-red gale is coiling around a woman holding a slender white saber. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye, and after seeing the woman, he is secretly alarmed. That woman is indeed an acquaintance of his. She is the second sister he met many years ago, Yu Wulan. The saber in Yu Wulan's hand is very thin. It is called Willow Moon Saber. Qin Yun has refined it for her several times. Although a long time has passed and the saber in her hand has been modified by the Guang Han Palace's inscription masters, it still has a familiar shape. Yu Wulan is wearing a snow-white dress. Her soft and beautiful skin is like perfect white jade, surrounded by a snow-white divine brilliance. Her beautiful jade face is filled with seriousness. She is seriously and cautiously blocking the magician's attack. She brandished her saber and slashed at the black skeletons that suddenly appeared. Her saber technique is extremely beautiful. It is as if she is dancing under the moon. And this kind of seemingly beautiful dancing saber technique is actually hidden with sharpness and profoundness. It can be said that it is a combination of a charming and moving dance and a cold and fierce saber technique. As they danced, the skeletons were killed until their heads rolled. The strange blood-colored wind that is swirling around is also becoming faster and faster as it is being seeped in by a kind of white light. Yu Wulan, you are one of the 5 Divine Moon heavenly daughters of the Divine Moon Clan. You have an extremely high status under the Divine Moon Clan's emperor, but is that all you have? The black-robed magician laughed loudly and said, "You can't even get close to me and I can make you look very miserable." The magician looked like a middle-aged man, but his skin was dry and dark, like that of an old man. Qin Yun, who is approaching Yu Wulan, is secretly alarmed. He never thought that Yu Wulan would be the same as Yu Huaxue, one of the Divine Moon heavenly daughters of the Divine Moon Clan. He had previously heard that the Divine Moon Clan's emperor had accepted a new Divine Moon heavenly daughter, but he did not expect that there would be Yu Wulan. Do you dark magicians think that you are invincible at night? Don't forget, the night is the world of the Divine Moon. Yu Wulan said coldly. The dark magician laughed loudly and said, "Then can you see the Divine Moon of the heavens now? The Divine Moon of the heavens has long been covered by me. Without the illumination of the Divine Moon of the heavens, you are simply not a match for me." Qin Yun now understood why there was so much black gas. It was to isolate the connection between Yu Wulan and the Divine Moon of the heavens. Yu Wulan is the disciple of the Divine Moon Clan's emperor. It can be said that she is one of the 5 princesses of the Divine Moon Clan. Although her strength is not as strong as a king's, her status is the same as a king's. It is not strange for her to be targeted by the magic court. Yu Wulan is still resisting all kinds of dark magic attack. She is also thinking of a way to escape. That dark magician is clearly stronger than Yu Wulan, and his cultivation is also much higher than Yu Wulan's. Second sister. Qin Yun condensed an extremely strong mental power and penetrated through the blood-colored ghost wind that surrounded Yu Wulan and shouted softly. "Little brother Yun?" Yu Wulan is extremely shocked. She also knew that the matter of Qin Yun, the king of the 9 Yang Palace, had spread everywhere during this period of time. Many experts believed that Qin Yun, a person with many Tao images, had already reached his limit and it was impossible for him to break through. Furthermore, the 9 Yang Divine Palace was surrounded by the 9 Heavens demon race and many other powerful races. However, Qin Yun has appeared here. Hurry up and leave, that guy is very strong. Yu Wulan immediately responded to Qin Yun. Second sister, I'll go over and give that guy a hammer strike. You hold on. Qin Yun did not continue to approach Yu Wulan. Instead, he suddenly used the light transformation sacred pupil and flashed towards the dark magician. The dark magician is not to be trifled with. He quickly discovered a ray of light shooting towards him. What the hell is this? The dark magician cried out in alarm. He waved the magic formation in his hand and shot out a blood-colored lightning. The lightning transformed into a blood-colored evil spirit that roared as it charged towards Qin Yun. That powerful dark magic divine power ferociously attacked Qin Yun's body but was dispersed by a strange power. This is the effect of Qin Yun's magic body. Yu Wulan was extremely worried just now. She knew that Qin Yun is very strong, but she was still worried that Qin Yun would not be able to defeat him. After Qin Yun broke through the dark magic divine power, he arrived in front of the dark magician. Magic body. Who are you? The dark magician's face is filled with fear as he shouted. A blue hammer appeared in Qin Yun's hand. This is the evolved 9 Sun Divine Hammer. The golden red totem carved on it shone with intense light. Go ask your dean. Qin Yun smashed his hammer forward and used the Heavenly Universe Fire incantation to release blue flames. In order to make this hammer even stronger, he also used the Heaven Extermination 9 style, Heaven Quake. The might of the Heaven Quake ferociously rushed out, bringing with it a dazzling Heavenly Universe divine flame. It landed on the dark magician's body. Boom! That shocking explosion seemed as if it was going to tear apart the sky. The dark magician also let out an incomparably miserable scream. After his magic lost its effect, Yu Wulan also rushed out and immediately flew to Qin Yun's side and stood in front of him. The dark magician is not dead yet, but his body has already split open. His chest has been pierced by the hammer's power and his entire body is burning with Heavenly Universe divine flame. Second sister, I'll leave it to you. Qin Yun stored the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and the burning Heavenly Universe divine flame and said with a smile. Yu Wulan took a deep breath in fear. Then, she went over and performed a beautiful saber dance, chopping the dark magician into pieces. Let's go! Yu Wulan pulled Qin Yun's hand and quickly flew towards another ball of black mist. Chapter 2288. When Qin Yun learned that the 9 Heavens divine demons are here, his eyes suddenly lit up. He obtained the Heavenly Law Heart Soul, and the Heavenly Universe Divine Incantation has been strengthened by a lot. Furthermore, the 9 Sun Divine Hammer has fused with the Heavenly Law Divine Rune. These are all specially made to deal with the 9 Heavens Divine Demons. He has long wanted to find a 9 Heavens Divine Demon to test them out. Why haven't those 9 Heavens Divine Demons come out yet? Qin Yun followed behind Yu Wulan and looked at the undulating seawater below. They are lying in ambush. If those dark magicians are no match for them, they will appear. Yu Wulan said in a deep voice. Little brother Yun, those 9 Heavens Divine Demons are all very strong elite. Fortunately, they are unable to fly. 9 Heavens Divine Demons can't fly? Qin Yun is extremely shocked. I remember that they have a kind of blue crystal ball. Those things can fly. They can fly in the Heavenly Law Universe, but they can't fly in the Divine Desolate Land. If they want to fly, they can only use flying magic tools to assist them. This will limit their flexibility. Yu Wulan flew towards the black mist and said in a low voice, Little brother Yun, I'll go in first. If I can't beat them, you can come in and help. Qin Yun immediately flew forward and tightly held Yu Wulan's hand. He said, Second sister, bring me in. I'm very strong, you saw it just now. I'm worried that you'll be injured. Your current situation is very bad. If you are seriously injured, it will affect you. Yu Wulon bit her lips and said, "It's fine, I'm fine. Let's quickly go in and save them." Qin Yun took out a mask and put it on. He said, "Don't tell others that I'm here. If those 9 heavens divine demons find out, the demon emperor might attack." Yu Wulon nodded. She could only bring Qin Yun and fly into the black mist. After entering, they saw a dark magician using all kinds of powerful dark magic to attack a divine moon woman. "Second sister, you stay here and attack that bastard. Attract his attention, I'll sneak attack." After Qin Yun became invisible, he said to Yu Wulon, "Alright." Yu Wulon's appearance here also surprised the dark magician. The women of the divine moon race are all very strong. Furthermore, the divine moon power they release is like the pure and holy moonlight. It is able to resist the dark and evil magic power. It wouldn't be easy for these dark magicians to capture the mystic moon woman. Yu Wulon went over to help the woman block all kinds of dark magic attack. The dark magician shouted again and again, chanting magic incantations. He desperately used all kinds of powerful dark magic, wanting to take down these 2 divine moon women in one fell swoop. Just as he was concentrating on attacking, he suddenly felt a very strong pressure rushing towards him. By the time he reacted, the 9 Sun Divine Hammer in Qin Yun's hand has already fiercely smashed down, releasing a violent blue flame, directly blasting the dark magician into blue flames. When Yu Wulon saw Qin Yun kill another dark magician with a single strike of his hammer, she felt relieved and pleasantly surprised. Qin Yun's sudden appearance really surprised her. Furthermore, he had helped them greatly. "Big Sister Wulon, who's that? So powerful?" The white-dressed woman looked at Qin Yun curiously and exclaimed softly, "Xiao Yuya, he is my friend. Don't ask too many questions later. He doesn't like people asking him questions." Yu Wulon said in a low voice. "Friend? What kind of relationship do you have with him?" Xiao Yuya's watery eyes are filled with a kind of ambiguous smile. Yu Wulon lightly snorted, pinched her round face and said, "Just an ordinary friend. He saved me and also saved you. You have to be more polite to him." "Got it." Xiao Yuya laughed in a low voice. Soon after, Yu Wulon and Xiao Yuya brought Qin Yun to help the other divine moon women repel the enemy. While they were doing this, a powerful divine moon woman joined in. She is a duchess. The divine moon race's duchess is not weak. Moreover, her attacks are very decisive and fierce. The weapon she uses is a very large white scissors. Qin Yun saw with his own eyes that the duchess used the scissors to cut a dark magician into several pieces. Not long after, they killed many dark magicians. The divine sun race and the 9 sun heavenly race were saved by the divine moon race in the end. However, they lost more than 10 people. The divine moon race has the divine moon power that can restrain darkness and evil. At most, they are only injured. Duchess Li Shuang, there is still the 9 heavens demon race below. Let's quickly go to the divine sun heavenly island. A woman said, "Our ship will arrive very soon. After we board the ship, we will be safe." Duchess Li Shuang also knows that if they face the 9 heavens divine demons, they will be in great danger. The ocean below is very turbulent. They are floating high in the sky and are still very vigilant. They are worried that the 9 heavens divine demons will rush up from the ocean. Suddenly, 3 huge ships flew over from the distance. The divine sun race, 9 sun heavenly race and divine moon race's ships have already rushed over to support them. "Go quickly board the ship. I will cover you." Duchess Li Shuang seems to have sensed something and her voice became very low. After the divine sun race and 9 sun heavenly race people entered their ships, the ships opened up a powerful energy shield and quickly sailed away. Yu Wulon cursed in low voice, "These guys, how can they run so fast? I wanted them to help me bring someone away." Duchess Li Shuang looked at Qin Yun. She also saw that Qin Yun helped them a lot, but Divine moon races ships do not allow men to board. It's not a problem. You guys go. Qin Yun said. Quickly go, those 9 heavens divine demons might come out soon. That won't do. Yu Wulan looked at Duchess Li Shuang and said in low voice, Sister Li Shuang, bring him on the ship. He helped us a lot just now. Duchess Li Shuang is hesitating. Dozens of other women are also returning to their silver ship. Qin Yun knows that there are many women on the Divine Moon Race's ship. Because no man has ever boarded the ship, they dress very casually. Duchess Li Shuang is very conflicted because no man has ever boarded their ship. If the higher-ups find out, the King Ju or the clan emperor will blame her. You guys quickly leave. Qin Yun urged. He really wants to stay and see if he can capture 1 or 2 9 heavens divine demons to research. Yu Wulan immediately grabbed Qin Yun's hand and said very firmly, I will stay with you. Sister Li Shuang, quickly get on the ship. Xiao Yuya also did not get on the ship. She said in low voice, Sister Li Shuang, let the sisters put on their clothes. Let's cover his eyes, this is a special time. All right, let him get on the ship. Duchess Li Shuang also made a decision and said, if the King Ju or the clan emperor blames me, it will be my responsibility. Let me take the blame. Yu Wulan promptly took out a cloth and wrapped it around the eyes of Qin Yun's mask with several layers. Qin Yun really wanted to stay. He even wanted to dive into the sea to find the 9 heavens divine demons. But now he is being forcefully dragged onto the Divine Moon Race's ship by Yu Wulan. After getting on the ship, Qin Yun can't see anything but he can use his mental power to sense the surrounding situation. If he opened his heavenly eye, he would be able to see everything clearly, but he won't do that. So fragrant! Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration. This ship is indeed fragrant. Little brother Yun, I will take you to hide. Yu Wulan pulled Qin Yun and quickly walked on the walkway. Along the way, Qin Yun heard the screams of many women. They all seemed to be very surprised. Don't be afraid, he can't see anything. I say, you guys are really something, can't you just wear your clothes properly? Yu Wulan did not expect to meet so many women on the road. She could only hurriedly explain. Sister Wulan, is this your man? Don't worry, we won't tell the King Ju and the clan emperor. We'll keep it a secret for you. How does he look? Is he good-looking? His body looks quite sturdy. Can I pinch his butt? Does Duchess Li Shuang also know? How could she agree to let a man on the ship? Could this man be shared by Sister Wulan and Duchess Li Shuang? A group of women giggled and discussed. Yu Wulan was speechless. She snorted and said, Quickly put on your clothes. I'm too lazy to wear it, he can't see. Besides, aren't you going to take him away and hide him? A woman laughed tenderly. Qin Yun suddenly felt as if he had fallen into a wolf's den. Yu Wulan could only hurriedly pull Qin Yun along as she walked quickly. The somewhat curious woman quietly followed behind. Finally, Qin Yun was brought to her room by Yu Wulan. After Yu Wulan closed the door, she cursed in a low voice. This group of meddlesome girls, it's not like they haven't seen a man before. Qin Yun said, Second sister, don't go around saying that I, the king of the 9 Yang Palace, is here. Otherwise, your master will hate me even more. I have something important to discuss with her. I don't want to give her such a bad impression. Got it. If I say that the king of the 9 Yang Palace is here, those girls outside will definitely be more interested in you. Yu Wulan said. Second sister, aren't the women of the Divine Moon clan very resistant to men? Qin Yun said with a smile. They look different from the rumors outside. That's because the man I brought back, they think he's a good man. Yu Wulan shook her head and smiled. Little brother Yun, my master does have a bad impression of you. Why are you looking for her? Second sister, why does your master have a bad impression of me? I want to understand this matter. Qin Yun did not remove the cloth on his head. Let's put it this way, her 5 disciples, that is, the 5 divine moon heavenly maidens, 3 of them have a very good relationship with you. Furthermore, you have a very deep relationship with the 9 Sun Goddess. Your relationship is very good and you are very close to the Guang Han Palace. Yu Wulon sighed. Wait, 3 divine moon heavenly maidens? You and Huashue, who else? Qin Yun asked in puzzlement. I only know the 2 of you. Sister Qin, your Aunt Xiao. Yu Wulon said. You know all of the Qin, Go, calligraphy and dance. Qin Yun said in surprise. Aunt Xiao has also become a divine moon heavenly maiden? Yu Wulon said. Yes, Sister Qin's talent is extremely high, that's natural. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I have a good relationship with the 9 Sun Goddess and I am close to the Guang Han Palace. So what? This is a relationship that I have established with all of you over the years. What does it have to do with the Divine Moon Clan's emperor? Chapter 2289. The 9 Heavens Demon Races Attack surprised Qin Yun and Yu Wulon. Isn't this ship flying high in the sky? I thought the 9 Heavens Demon Tribe couldn't fly. How did they attack the ship? As Qin Yun spoke, the ship shook violently again. I don't know. Perhaps the 9 Heavens Demon Tribe had some powerful flying artifact. Maybe they also have something like a flying ship. Yu Wulon immediately took out a set of white armor and put it on, then summoned her Willow Moon Blade. Qin Yun said, Can I take off the belt? Little brother Yun, you stay in the room. I'll go ask Sister Li Shuang about the situation. Don't run around. Yu Wulon hurriedly rushed out. Qin Yun did not remove the cloth belt. He could only continue staying in Yu Wulon's room. As for the ship, it was still shaking incessantly. It was obvious that it had suffered a series of attacks. Xiao Yun, do you think the 9 Heavens divine beasts will attack? Ling Yun was a little worried. There are so many girls on this ship. If they were all eaten by the 9th Heaven divine demon, my heart would feel very uncomfortable. Qin Yun said with a smile. Don't worry, the Divine Moon Clan is not weak. The women from the Divine Moon Clan were able to resist the Dark Magicians, but the women from the 9 Sun Sky Clan were unable to do so. Ling Yun also smiled and said, Xiao Yun, you were blindfolded. You didn't see anything just now. And I saw it. She released a wisp of her consciousness and could see the situation outside. Beauty Yun, you've really feasted your eyes. Qin Yun shook his head and said with a smile, You have to be careful next time. Don't let anyone discover you, lest they suspect me. If he used his mind to observe, it would be easier to be discovered. Don't worry, they didn't find out. Ling Yun laughed. Qin Yun waited in the room. He was also very anxious because the ship did not continue flying and the tremors were even stronger than before. Suddenly, someone came in from outside. Who? Qin Yun hurriedly shouted because the person who entered was not Yu Wulon. Big brother, I'm little Yu Xiang. A woman came in and said in a panic. Who is Xiao Yuya to you? Qin Yun asked. That's my sister. Little Yu Xiang arrived in front of Qin Yun and waved her hand in front of Qin Yun to see if he could see it. Little Yu Xiang, what's the matter? Qin Yun said, I can't leave this room. I really want to know the situation outside. Do you know? Little Yu Xiang whispered, Big brother, why did Big Sister Wulon bring you back? And Sister Li Shuang didn't object. Qin Yun said with a smile, Your sister knows. Didn't she tell you? Little Yu Xiang said, She said it? She said, You saved them, but is that it? You're Big Sis Wulon's friend, so what's your relationship with her? Qin Yun immediately realized that little Yu Xiang was most likely planted on the ship by Wang Ju or the Divine Moon Race's Tharch. The higher-ups had placed some spies on the ship to prevent the people on the ship from covering the truth with one hand. I am her little brother, she is my second sister. Qin Yun said. Is he her biological brother? Although little Yu Xiang is questioning, her voice is delicate and soft. Moreover, it has a faint charm to it. Even if she interrogated him again and again, he wouldn't feel disgusted. Qin Yun answered truthfully, "No, we are sworn brothers. We have known each other for many years, we can be considered friends who have gone through trials and tribulations." "I don't really believe it. Yu Wulan is so beautiful, could it be that you have never been moved?" Little Yuxiang said with a light smile. Her delicate body suddenly trembled, a faint mist overflowed from her body, bringing with it a very intoxicating fragrance. In just a moment, Qin Yun was enveloped by that fragrance. His entire body relaxed as he leaned back on the chair. He can't help but greedily take a deep breath because that fragrance is truly too fragrant. Suddenly, little Yuxiang fell into Qin Yun's embrace and sat on his thigh. Her warm and delicate body wrapped around Qin Yun. Qin Yun suddenly woke up with a start. He also discovered that little Yuxiang is not wearing any clothes. "Big brother, what do you think of me? Me or big sis Wulan?" Little Yuxiang's voice is numb and enticing. Although he can't see her appearance, just her voice and her body fragrance is enough to make people go crazy. Qin Yun absolutely did not believe that there would be a woman who would throw herself into his embrace so casually, especially a woman from the Divine Moon clan. And this woman is a spy, mainly to monitor the situation inside the ship. It can also be said that she is secretly monitoring Yu Wulan and Duchess Li Shuang. Qin Yun can also be considered an old fox. He immediately understood the purpose of little Yuxiang's visit. Little Yuxiang is deliberately luring him, waiting for him to do something out of line and then report it to the higher-up. Qin Yun previously knew that the Divine Moon clan is very strict with women, they are not allowed to casually be together with men. Especially the Divine Moon clan's emperor, he is very resistant to men, so the matter of placing a spy to monitor the Divine Moon clan's women, in Qin Yun's opinion, is very normal. "Little Yuxiang, I want to shit," Qin Yun suddenly said. "I have been cursed by a dark magician, I can shit at any time. Quickly get off me, you!" Little Yuxiang immediately jumped off Qin Yun's body and maintained a distance from him. Qin Yun took out a bucket and said, "Miss, please leave." Little Yuxiang is startled, she immediately rushed out of the room. Qin Yun casually waved his hand and closed the door. Furthermore, he instantly condensed a few sets of runes and sealed the door. Ling Yun tenderly snorted and said, "This little Yuxiang has a special mission. I think that when she is carrying out the mission, she even wants to take advantage of you. What a little vixen." Qin Yun immediately released his devouring power and absorbed all the remaining body fragrances into his body. He said, "Her body can release a kind of fragrance that can confuse the mind. I almost fell into it. With her little ability, she wants to take down you, the Nine-Yang Palace King? She is still too inexperienced." Ling Yun tenderly laughed. Little Yuxiang did not leave, she is still outside. "Miss Yuxiang, how is the situation outside?" Qin Yun asked. He is truly concerned about the situation outside. "You don't need to worry about the situation outside." Little Yuxiang is also very astute. She realized that she has been seen through, so her voice became much colder. "Hey, you're giving up just like that?" Qin Yun said with smile. "I think you can still work harder. The charming fragrance on my body is very powerful. If you don't fall for it, it's useless even if I work hard." Little Yuxiang tenderly snorted and said, "I somewhat regret it. I should have properly accepted your good intentions just now." Qin Yun chuckled and said. Little Yuxiang somewhat angrily said, "Sister Wulan is the Divine Moon Heavenly Maiden. Men are not allowed to sully her. You should stay away from him. This is good for both you and her." Qin Yun said, "I just happened to meet her on the way here and helped her repel the enemy. Previously, they wanted me to board the ship, but I was determined not to. You can ask your sister Xiaoyuya about this. I asked her and she said the same thing. But I don't believe you, you stinking man. You can't say it, but in my heart, I know that they will definitely bring you along." Little Yuxiang lightly snorted and said, "Am I right?" "You're wrong, I really don't want to board the ship. But I don't regret it now because if you guys encounter a 9 heavens divine demon, I can also help. Otherwise, if something happens to second sister on this ship, I will regret it very much." Qin Yun said. "The ship has already stopped and is now under continuous attack. Just thinking about it, it is clear that the situation is not very optimistic." Little Yuxiang said, "Don't worry, our ship is very powerful. As long as the heavenly divine moon shines on it, it will have very strong defense. 9 heavens divine demon will not be able to attack." At this moment a woman suddenly cried out in fear, "Big sister, something big has happened. Divine Yang race and 9 Sun heavenly races ships have been destroyed. Those people have been bitten by a large group of 9 heavens divine demons and died very miserably." Just by hearing this, Qin Yun can already imagine the scene. 9 Sun heavenly race and divine Yang races ships have very strong defense. Moreover, there are at least 2 dukes inside. However, they have still been broken through. It can be said that they have been completely annihilated. "Yuyao, how is our defense now?" Little Yuxiang's voice became somewhat flustered as she asked. "We can still hold on for now. But we can't go forward. Those inscription master sisters on the ship all said that we have been sealed by a great formation. That kind of seal should be from Heavenly Law Hall or Devil Court." Little Yuya said, "Not good, once they cover the heavenly divine moon, we will be in trouble." Little Yuxiang's voice became grave and anxious. Little Yuya said very worriedly, "Big sister, you are Duke Yuxiang. Are you going to personally go out and fight? Sister Li Shuang and Sister Wulan are planning to go out and destroy that great formation." "I am a duke, of course I have to go out. Don't worry, Li Shuang and I will stake our lives to help you escape." "Oh, that's right, we absolutely cannot let Wulan go out. Even if we die, we must protect her." Little Yuxiang suddenly became very anxious. The room's door suddenly opened. Qin Yun tore off the cloth on his mask. Therefore, when he opened the door, he saw Little Yuxiang and Little Yuya. When Little Yuxiang saw that Qin Yun's mask has 2 bright eyes, she immediately cried out in alarm. Because she is only wearing thin muslin clothes, her snow-white skin can be seen. Qin Yun's expression is without any ripple, with a solemn expression. He promptly took out a set of clothes and threw it to Little Yuxiang. He said in a deep voice, "Quickly bring me to second sister." "You!" Little Yuxiang gritted her teeth. "If you want to die, do as you please. But don't implicate my second sister." Qin Yun's eyes revealed a kind of ice-cold and powerful aura. Little Yuya said in a low voice, "Elder sister, he is very powerful. He can kill those dark magicians with a casual swing of his hammer." After Little Yuxiang put on the robe Qin Yun gave her, she immediately turned around and flew away, bringing Qin Yun to find Yu Wulan. She was also worried that Yu Wulan would go out because she understood Yu Wulan very well. She knew that this divine moon heavenly daughter would definitely step forward in a critical moment. It was also because of this that Yu Wulan was deeply loved by these women. Everyone was very protective of her. "Why did the 9 heavens divine demon ambush you? How did they know your whereabouts?" Qin Yun asked. "We also find this matter strange. I can't tell you too much about the inside story," Little Yuxiang said. Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. This Little Yuxiang is actually a duke, because she had used a charm technique to confuse him. Along the way, Qin Yun saw many women of the Divine Moon clan. They actually haven't entered a state of battle yet. They are dressed very casually, similar to Little Yuxiang. It can be seen how much they believe in the defense of this ship. Chapter 2290. Qin Yun followed behind Little Yuxiang. Along the way, he saw many women wearing battle armor and holding weapons in their hands. They have finally entered a state of mind. Not long after, Qin Yun and little Yuxiang arrived at a very large conference room. There are more than 10 female inscription masters talking at once. Duchess Li Shuang and Yu Wulan are also here. Yuxiang, you guys. Yu Wulan is very surprised to see little Yuxiang bring Qin Yun over. Duchess Li Shuang is also the same, her expression slightly changed. It is very clear that Yu Wulan and Duchess Li Shuang know that little Yuxiang was placed here by the upper echelons to supervise them and prevent them from secretly doing things that violate the clan rules. He said he could help us solve the problem, so I brought him here. Little Yuxiang is expressionless and indifferently said. Qin Yun said, "There is a great formation trapping your ship and there are 9 heavens divine demons attacking. Once the divine moon in the sky is covered by their black fog, this ship will definitely be destroyed. Second sister, let me go out, I will help you escape." "No, it is too dangerous for you to go out alone," Yu Wulan promptly said. "I will go with you." Qin Yun has completely concealed his aura. Others don't know what his cultivation is, but Yu Wulan knows. Although Qin Yun is very powerful at the profound God realm, Yu Wulan is very worried. "I will go with you," little Yuxiang said. "Sister Li Shuang is here to take charge of the situation. With your strength, facing the 9 heavens divine demons is a dead end. Do you have the heavenly law inheritance?" Qin Yun said with some contempt. "Heavenly law inheritance. That is a power that can restrain the 9 heavens divine demons. Of course they don't have it. One must know that people who returned from the heavenly law universe, even if they obtained the heavenly law inheritance, are still unable to unleash their strongest power. Using it to fight against the 9 heavens divine demons is also barely satisfactory." "You have it?" Little Yuxiang is somewhat astonished. Duchess Li Shuang is the same, her face is filled with shock. And the dozen or so female inscription masters here, as well as a few other powerful women, are also very curious about this mysterious masked man. They only heard that a man came on the ship because of an emergency. They don't know what kind of man he is. From the looks of it, he was quite a powerful person. "Of course I have the heavenly law inheritance. I didn't want to board the ship because I wanted to capture a few 9 heavens divine demons. Don't talk anymore, open the passage and let me out," Qin Yun said. He could also go out directly by himself, but that would waste the spatial divine power orb. The little ant queen was currently undergoing a transformation within the divine universe purple sun and would not be able to come out for a short period of time. The spatial god power pearl had to be used sparingly. Upon hearing Qin Yun say that he wanted to capture the 9 heavens divine demons, the women were moved. Their eyes revealed looks of disbelief. Only Yu Wulan believed in Qin Yun's strength. After all, he was the 9 Yang Palace King. He had once pierced through the head of the 9 heavens demon emperor. "Little brother, you must be careful." Yu Wulan held Qin Yun's hand. Qin Yun took out a talisman and handed it to Yu Wulan. He said, "This is for you. If you meet a 9 heavens divine demon, you can use this talisman to a certain extent." "Thank you." Yu Wulan knew that the talisman Qin Yun had given her was definitely useful. Furthermore, only Qin Yun could refine such talismans. "Follow me," Duke Li Shuang said. "Remember to come back. No matter what, come back first. If you help us, I will definitely not report the matter of you boarding the ship," little Yuxiang said in a low voice. All the women in the meeting room knew that Duke Yuxiang was here to supervise them. Hearing her words, they were rather surprised. Especially Yu Wulan and Duke Li Shuang. They were prepared to be punished by the clan emperor. "I might not necessarily come back. I still have my own matters to attend to. If I successfully break the formation, you guys can just sail away." Qin Yun looked at Yu Wulan and said, "Second sister, you have my soul-chasing talisman, right? You can always pay attention to my situation. I'll be fine." Qin Yun's meaning was very clear. He was not very reluctant to stay on the Divine Moon Clan ship. Furthermore, He really had other important matters to attend to. Yu Wulan could only nod her head lightly. Although she was Qin Yun's second sister, she could not let Qin Yun listen to her at this time. She still hoped that Qin Yun would come back. This way it would be safer. Duke Li Xuang brought Qin Yun away and headed towards the exit. Yu Wulan did not follow them. She only let out a faint sigh and looked at little Yu Xiang. Yu Xiang, are you really not going to tell Master? No. Little Yu Xiang snorted lightly. What kind of man is this? I can't see through him at all. What is it? What did you do to him? Yu Wulan asked anxiously. Elder sister used charming fragrance, but it didn't have any effect. Furthermore, her body was seen. Xiao Yuya laughed. This caused all the women in the meeting room to be dumbstruck. This Duke of Yuxiang had actually suffered such a huge loss. Damn girl, you have too much mouth. Little Yuxiang stomped her feet and immediately pinched Xiao Yuya's face. The robe that big sister is wearing was even given to her by that good big brother. Xiao Yuya chuckled and said, Big sister is the Duke of Yuxiang, but she actually can't do anything to a man. Isn't this a special period? If it was any other time, if he looked at me, I would definitely dig out his eyes. Xiao Yuxiang said angrily. His eyes are so beautiful. Are you willing to dig them out? Xiao Yuya teased. I'll dig them out for my collection, can't I? Xiao Yuxiang snorted. Stop messing around, it's dangerous outside. All of you be serious. The girls on this ship are all so lax. Just now, they didn't even wear their clothes properly and let that guy feast his eyes. It was also at this time that Duke Li Xuang returned. How is it? Can we see what he's doing outside? Xiao Yuxiang asked. We have to cooperate with him inside, don't let anything happen to him. Xiao Yuya originally wanted to speak, but she was pinched by Xiao Yuxiang. A wall of the conference room suddenly fluctuated and an image of the outside appeared. Outside, there are many blue light balls floating in the air. They are all crystal balls. These crystal balls are different from the ones Qin Yun had seen before. With a glance, Qin Yun could tell that these crystal balls were used to set up formations. There are no 9 heavens divine demons inside. It is obvious that they have been refined by someone. There are at least 1,000 crystal balls floating in all directions, forming a very strong barrier that surrounded the ship. Those 9 heavens divine demons did not show themselves. Instead, they hid in the black mist in the air and condensed some blue energy balls to attack the ship. The black mist in the air is getting thicker and thicker. The moonlight of the heavenly divine moon is very strong and can still penetrate through the thick mist and shine down. If the black mist reaches a certain level, it will completely block the moonlight and the ship's defense will drop. At that time, it will definitely be broken through. He's over there. A female inscription master pointed at a small dot. Qin Yun is wearing a white inscription master robe and a mask. He is charging towards a blue light ball. Inside that blue light ball, there is a very strong blue crystal. Our ship's cannons and all kinds of crossbow arrows are unable to penetrate and destroy it. A female inscription master shook her head and said, It's useless for him to directly rush over like this. Just when she was very certain, she saw Qin Yun's body seem to be wrapped in blue flame as he accelerated towards the blue light ball. Whoosh! Qin Yun's body broke through the blue light ball. Seeing this scene, all the female inscription masters in the conference room are so shocked that they are speechless. They are very clear about how strong the blue crystal is. Not only now, they have already seen it before. But now, it has been directly broken through by a person's body. How did he do it? Heavenly law inheritance? What kind of heavenly law inheritance is this? How did he master it so skillfully? Little Yuxiang's beautiful eyes flickered with extraordinary splendor, her heart is filled with doubt and she asked a series of questions. Qin Yun used Heavenly Universe Fire incantation in one go and released flame to cover his body. Then he cooperated with light transformation, sacred eye and 9 sun divine hammer in his hand. When he rushed over, the divine hammer trembled, vibration heavenly law divine rune inside exploded and scattered all the blue crystals. In just a short moment, he destroyed many blue light balls, and the formation also showed signs of loosening. How did he know the core node of the formation? Every time he scattered a light ball, it was the core node of the formation. We have studied it for a long time, but still couldn't confirm it. A female inscription master exclaimed in admiration again. This caused the group of female inscription masters to exclaim in admiration again and again. They seriously looked at the light screen on the wall and stared at Qin Yun's back. Yu Wulon felt that this is very normal. After all, it was the 9 Sun Palace King who took action. She is also very happy because she saw that Qin Yun is becoming stronger and stronger. Duchess Li Shuang said in a deep voice, "I am worried that a 9th Heaven Divine Demon will suddenly appear. The 9th Heaven Divine Demon that ambushed us this time is very strong. Otherwise, Divine Yang race and 9 Sun Heavenly race would not have been destroyed so easily. Once he breaks the formation, we will be able to escape immediately." A female inscription master looked at little Yuxiang and said in a low voice, "Duchess Yuxiang, he seems to be a little afraid of you. I am worried that he will not dare to board the ship again." "I just said that he must come back no matter what," little Yuxiang hurriedly said, "although I do mind having a man come up, but at this moment, I know what is right." "Ah, a 9th Heaven Divine Demon has appeared," little Yuya anxiously shouted. "So many 9th Heaven Divine Demon. Has the formation been broken?" Duchess Li Shuang asked. "The formation barrier sealing our ship has already loosened. As long as he destroys a few more nodes, he will be able to completely break it," a female inscription master hurriedly replied. Just as she finished speaking, Qin Yun, who was outside, quickly leaped up and scattered a few blue light balls. The formation has also been completely broken. However, he is now surrounded by more than 10 9th Heaven Divine Demon. Those 10 or so 9th Heaven Divine Demon are all short and stout. They have messy silver hair and silver skin. They are wearing armor made of blue crystals. Those armors are also carved with many runes. Qin Yun immediately recognized the runes carved by Heavenly Law Hall and Magic Academy. With this equipment, the 9th Heaven Divine Demon will undoubtedly become even stronger. Quickly tell him to come back. Can you inform him? Little Yuxiang hastily shouted. Chapter 2291. When the women in the meeting room saw Qin Yun being devoured by all kinds of powerful energy attacks, they all felt grief. Little Yuxiang covered her mouth and clenched her fists tightly. Duchess Li Shuang closed her eyes and stopped looking at the image on the wall. The conference room fell into silence. They all believed that Qin Yun had been killed. Just now, Yu Wulon's heart was also throbbing with pain. However, after she calmed down, she quickly took out the soul-chasing talisman to take a look. "He's fine," Yu Wulon shouted in pleasant surprise. Seeing that the soul-chasing talisman's soul fluctuations were very strong, she knew that Qin Yun's situation was still good. "Really?" Little Yuxiang looked at the soul-chasing talisman and suddenly felt relieved. She felt somewhat guilty because she had previously doubted Qin Yun. She had even tried to seduce Qin Yun into taking liberties with her so that she could find an excuse to chase Qin Yun away. Now that they saw Qin Yun risking his life to help them escape, they were filled with gratitude. At the same time, she was even more curious about Qin Yun. Because someone with such strength was definitely not an ordinary person. Especially now, those who could fight against the 9 heavens godly beasts were all rare expert. Even the kings of the powerful clans couldn't do what Qin Yun did. "He has appeared," Xiao Yuya shouted happily. Sure enough, Qin Yun appeared. His body has a light blue barrier. That barrier was formed by activating the vibration Heavenly Law Divine rune inside the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. A complete heavenly law god rune could effectively suppress the nine heavens' demonic energy. Just now, Qin Yun was able to successfully defend against all kinds of violent attacks. Of course, not everyone could fight against the nine heavens' godly beasts just because they had mastered the complete heavenly law god rune. The reason why Qin Yun can do this is because his nether sun has duplicated a kind of mysterious blue spirit power, so he can condense that kind of small black saber. Because of this, coupled with his heavenly law soul and heavenly blood, he was able to completely control the nine heavens' demon energy. Even if others had a good grasp of heavenly law divine runes or heavenly law legacies, they would not be able to do what he did. Those nine heavens' divine demons are astonished to see Qin Yun unharmed. When I was in the universe of heavenly laws, I didn't have enough control over the inheritance of heavenly laws, so I couldn't completely kill these guys. But it's different now. Qin Yun gripped the nine sun divine hammer tightly and suddenly charged at a nine heavens divine demon. Seeing this scene, all the women in the conference room exclaimed, "He wants to attack the nine heavens god monsters? Is he not afraid of death? You should hurry back. The nine heavens godly demons are very strong and difficult to kill." Even if Wang Ju was here, he could only force them to retreat. There's no way to kill them. The Mystic Moon clan joined the resistance against the nine heavens godly beasts and learned a lot about the nine heavens godly beasts from Long Tang. Over the past month, they had also met a ninth heaven godly demon and knew that it was really hard to kill a ninth heaven godly demon. Only by mastering the heavenly law inheritance to a certain degree and using powerful godly power would one be able to kill the nine heavens godly demons. What a stupid person! No one in the divine desolate can kill us. A nine heavens divine demon laughed sinisterly. It seemed like he was the leader of this team. At the same time, the nine heavens divine demon slashed at Qin Yun with his blue crystal saber. He suddenly flashed and appeared behind the leader like a ghost. He raised the nine sun divine hammer high up in his hand and vigorously hammered down. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out, as if the sky itself was shaking. 9 forms of heavenly annihilation, heavenly quake. As the hammer fell, the flames and vibrations combined perfectly. Heavenly universe fire incantation and vibration heavenly law divine rune burst out with 9 sun divine hammer to produce even stronger godly power. This ferocious hammer smashed down and landed on the leader's head, directly exploding it. After the divine hammer burst out with godly power, it poured into the short and stocky body and tore it to pieces. His body shattered, but the blue crystal armor is still intact. It has not been damaged at all. Boss! A 9 heavens godly demon beside him let out a scream of horror. Just as he was about to rush over to attack Qin Yun, his body suddenly became unable to move. Qin Yun released gravity and formed a domain. Within his gravity domain, these 9 heavens godly demons are in a weightless state. Their body floated up, unable to be nimbly controlled. Come over! Qin Yun tightly held the 9 sun divine hammer and suddenly started spinning on the spot. At the same time, a devouring whirlpool appeared under his feet. Nether Sun's devouring power burst out and quickly pulled those 9 heavens godly demons who are in a weightless state. Those 9 heavens godly demons who are flying over were hit by Qin Yun's 9 sun divine hammer. They screamed miserably again and again. Qin Yun's 9 sun divine hammer's divine power is accompanied by a strong vibration. It penetrated the blue crystal armor and vibrated into the 9 heavens godly demons' bodies. One must know that Qin Yun's divine power contains traces of heavenly universe divine fire. It can bring great pain to the 9 heavens godly demons' bodies. Qin Yun originally thought that these 9 heavens godly demons are very strong, so he planned to enter Imperial Heaven State. Now it seems that he doesn't need to enter Imperial Heaven State. It is only the blue crystal armor that is very strong. Qin Yun's divine hammer is still unable to shatter the armor, but he can use vibration heavenly law to vibrate the divine power into the godly demons' bodies. More than 10 9 heavens godly demons screamed miserably again and again. People who have seen the power of 9 heavens godly demons would think that they are seeing things after seeing this scene. Those women in the meeting room felt fear in their hearts. They never expected that such a powerful and mysterious expert was hiding in the divine desolate. What they find most inconceivable is that this person is Yu Wulan's sworn brother. Qin Yun placed more than 10 9 heavens godly demons into a large cauldron and sealed them with the heavenly god sealing restriction. He captured the 9 heavens godly demons alive to study them. These 9 heavens godly demons' strength can be considered pretty good, otherwise they would not have been sent to carry out the mission. However, against Qin Yun, who has grasped the heavenly law inheritance, the 9 heavens godly demons' powerful regenerative power and already powerful blue crystal armor seem to be completely useless. Qin Yun does not plan to return to the large ship. Just as he was about to fly away, Duchess Li Xuang and little Yuxiang immediately shouted, "Young master, please wait. You guys leave first, I still have things to do." Qin Yun plans to hide and study those 9 heavens godly demons. "Little brother, you should return to the ship. If we meet another 9 heavens godly demon, we definitely won't be able to defeat them." Yu Wulan also hopes that Qin Yun will return, she said again. These 9 heavens godly demons have failed their mission, there will definitely be more coming. Qin Yun thought about it and felt that it is possible, so he can only return to the ship. After returning, Qin Yun used the reason that he is very tired and wanted to rest well. Yu Wulan promptly brought Qin Yun to her room and told him to rest. The large ship continued to fly steadily, passed through the black fog and was once again illuminated by the moonlight. They are already out of danger and continued flying towards the divine sun heavenly island. In the meeting room, Duchess Li Xuang and little Yuxiang are still feeling shocked as they recalled the scene just now. They are dukes, they know very well how difficult it is to deal with 9 heavens godly demons. However, someone killed them as easily as killing chickens. I have to ask Sister Wulan who that person is, he is too awesome. Xiao Yuya is very curious, she promptly left the meeting room to find Yu Wulan. Little Yuxiang and Duchess Li Xuang looked at each other and nodded because they seemed to have guessed who that person is. That young master just now, could he be the legendary 9 Sun Palace King? A female inscription master's eyes flickered with extraordinary splendor, she said with smile. I heard that his inscription level is unfathomable and he has mastered a very strong inscription battle technique. Little Yuxiang said solemnly, "Don't tell anyone about this. You can't even tell Wang Ju or the king, understand?" Sister Yuxiang, weren't you sent by Clan Emperor to supervise us? Why did you betray Clan Emperor? A long-brayed woman said with charming smile. Don't worry about it. Everyone saw it just now. He saved us, so no matter what, we must keep this secret. Little Yuxiang finished speaking, then pulled Duchess Li Xuang out of the meeting room. Little Yuxiang brought Duchess Li Xuang into a secret room. Yuxiang, what happened to you? Aren't you very loyal to Clan Emperor? Duchess Li Xuang's somewhat heroic and beautiful face is filled with doubt. I am always by Clan Emperor's side, so I know that Clan Emperor doesn't like that 9 Sun Palace King. If she finds out that 9 Sun Palace King is on the ship, not only will we be punished, that 9 Sun Palace King will also suffer a calamity. Little Yuxiang very solemnly said. But that Palace King 9 Yang saved us. Even if you hate him, you can't be ungrateful, right? Duchess Li Xuang frowned and said, My lord is not an unreasonable person. I don't know. In short, Clan Emperor told me that 9 Sun Palace King is a scourge or something. He even said that he stole Hua Shui's heart. Little Yuxiang frowned and sighed, then said, When I saw 9 Sun Palace King today, I felt that he was pretty good. I also don't understand why Clan Emperor hates him so much. Duchess Li Suang patted little Yuxiang's chest and said with smile, "I think your heart was also stolen." "Don't talk nonsense. If Clan Emperor hears this, I will be in trouble," little Yuxiang said in low voice. Sister Li Suang later warned those girls, "Don't let them spread this matter everywhere. Nine Sun Palace King's situation is not good. We are doing this to protect him." "Got it, for the sake of your sweetheart, we will do it well." Duchess Li Suang laughed heartily. Little Yuxiang is anxious, she can only vigorously pinch Duchess Li Suang's butt. Qin Yun did not rest in Yu Wulan's room. Instead, he looked at the dozen or so blue crystal armors and studied them. Yu Wulan is at the side. She did not expect that Qin Yun would really capture a group of 9 Heavens Divine Demons. She is somewhat worried that those 9 Heavens Divine Demons would run out. She now knows why the 9 Heavens Demon Emperor is shouting everywhere about killing Qin Yun. Because he knows very well that Qin Yun has mastered a power that can restrain 9 Heavens Divine Demons. "Little brother Yun, did you see anything?" Yu Wulan asked. "There are Divine Star Runes from the Divine Star Race, Heavenly Law Halls Heavenly Law Divine Runes and Devil Quartz Magic Runes. Carving runes inside these blue crystals can make them stronger," Qin Yun said. Qin Yun believes that it is very necessary to deeply study these blue crystals and try carving runes inside them to deal with 9 Heavens Divine Demons. Chapter 2292. Yu Wulan stammered and did not answer directly. This was clearly their core secret, so Qin Yun did not continue asking her. Qin Yun asked Yu Wulan to take him to a relatively large and empty warehouse. He wanted to release the floating cloud pagoda here. "Little brother Yun, what are you doing? Aren't you going to rest?" Yu Wulan asked curiously when she saw Qin Yun release the floating cloud pagoda. "I have important things to do," Qin Yun said with smile. Yu Wulan followed Qin Yun into the floating cloud pagoda. After entering, Yu Wulan said in a low voice, "Little brother Yun, we have an important mission this time. There is indeed something very important on the ship. If I'm not allowed to say it, you don't have to tell me." Qin Yun brought Yu Wulan to the empty level. Then, he released the 9 altars to activate the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. "You're not an outsider. Besides, I think you need to know about this because I'm also very confused," Yu Wulan said. "Second sister, what are you puzzled about?" Qin Yun asked. "The ships of the Divine Yang race and the 9 Yang Sky race have been destroyed. I am very worried that our ship will not be able to hold on." Yu Wulan is very worried because she knew that if the 9 Heavens Divine Demons were to attack again, Qin Yun would definitely be at the front. She knew that Qin Yun was very strong, but she was worried that Qin Yun would not be a match for an even stronger 9 Heavens Divine Demon. "What are you transporting?" Qin Yun was puzzled. "Yes, we received a mission earlier to receive an item. That item can't be stored in a storage artifact," Yu Wulan said. "Our 3 ships all went to the same place and dug out 3 very big coffins." Qin Yun frowned. He had guessed that there were all sorts of things being transported, but there was no coffin. What coffin? Was there anyone in the coffin? Why would the 9 Heavens Divine Demons want to snatch it? Qin Yun was even more curious. "I only know it's a coffin. I don't know what's inside, and neither do the 2 dukes. The one who told us to do this was the Wind Moon Duke. She warned us not to open the coffin," Yu Wulan said. Qin Yun now understood what she was puzzled about. Why did the 9 Heavens Divine Monsters want to snatch these coffins? What exactly was inside the coffins? Is there a dead person in the coffin? Qin Yun pondered. He felt that this matter was not simple. It might involve many secrets that he did not know. Those powerful primordial races vaguely knew about the 9 Sun Divine Maiden and the 10 Tao statues. As for 9 Sun Divine Maiden's elder sister Xiao Yueme, she herself said that she is the heavenly moon divine concubine from above the 9 heavens. Qin Yun could not help but link the two together. He suspected that the ancient races might have once come from above the 9 heavens. That was why the ancient races were able to receive news of the descent of the blue skies ahead of time. "Where is the coffin?" asked Qin Yun. "Little brother Yun, I didn't dare to tell you before because I was worried that you would open the coffin." Yu Wulon pursed her lips and smiled. "Do you have such thoughts now? You have one too, right?" Qin Yun said with a chuckle. "Yes, but we can't do it." Yu Wulon shook her head and said with a smile, "Little brother Yun, you have to behave yourself. Otherwise, little Yuxiang will fly into a rage." "Rest assured, I won't harm you," Qin Yun said. "Little brother Yun, what are you going to do now?" Yu Wulon asked curiously. Qin Yun released a 9 heavens divine demon from the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron. That 9 heavens divine demon's body is burning with heavenly cosmos divine flame, so he is currently in great pain. He is being sealed inside the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation by Qin Yun and is screaming miserably. Seeing this 9 heavens divine demon, Yu Wulon's beautiful face turned pale in fright. "Don't be afraid, it's been sealed." Qin Yun chuckled and said, "I want to study this guy and see how to deal with him." Little brother Yun, can't you easily restrain the 9 heavens divine demon? You think it's not enough?" Yu Wulon said in astonishment. "Of course it's not enough. The more I understand about the 9 heavens divine demon, the better." Qin Yun spoke and entered the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. "Be careful," Yu Wulon said anxiously. She also almost forgot that Qin Yun took down more than 10 9 heavens divine demon. After Qin Yun entered, that 9 heavens divine demon screamed loudly. Obviously, he is screaming in fear and pain. "It's you! You injured our demon emperor!" The 9th heaven divine demon shouted. "You guys also know?" Qin Yun took out a small black saber and controlled it to easily pierce through the thick silver skin of the 9 heavens divine demon. The blue crystal condensed by the 9 heavens divine demon is very sturdy and the thick silver skin is also very tough. It would be very difficult for the weapons of those strong races to pierce through the thick silver skin. Furthermore, the bones inside the 9 heavens divine demon's body are even stronger blue crystal bones. "Second sister, you go with Duchess Li Shuang and the others. This ship is not out of danger yet. You go with them and arrange for the other women to prepare for defense," Qin Yun said. And Yu Wulon nodded and then left the floating cloud pagoda. Qin Yun is inside the floating cloud pagoda, studying and probing the 9 heavens divine demon. 9 heavens divine demon have a very strange regenerative power. It can allow their body to quickly recover. However, this kind of regenerative power is only suitable for the 9 heavens divine demon themselves. Many people, when facing the 9 heavens divine demon, even if they can break through their blue crystal armor, it would be very difficult for them to break through their thick silver skin. Because even if they pierced through the silver skin, they would not be able to completely injure the 9 heavens divine demon's root bone. It would only infuriate them. "These guys, don't they have any vital points on their body?" Qin Yun remembers that when he pierced through the 9 heavens demon emperor's head, he did not injure the demon emperor's soul. Generally speaking, the relationship between the soul and the head is closely related. If the head is heavily injured, the soul will suffer a certain amount of damage. And even if the 9 heavens divine demon doesn't have a head, they can still continue to fight. And during the fight, the head will quickly regenerate. Qin Yun fiddled with this 9 heavens divine demon for a long time, but he did not find anything. "I can't find out where the souls of these guys are. Their souls are hidden very well." Qin Yun is very puzzled. If they can't quickly injure the body, then they will destroy the soul. The soul is a weak point, so it is hidden very well. No matter how many holes are poked in their body, their soul will not be injured. This is also one of the reasons why the 9 heavens divine demon are very difficult to deal with. After the body is injured, the soul must be mobilizing energy to repair the body. And the energy of the 9 heavens divine demon doesn't seem to be stored in the body. After Qin Yun researched, he made an even greater discovery. After the 9 heavens divine demon was injured, the energy absorbed by the body seems to be produced out of thin air. It is not absorbed from the body of the divine demon. Xiao Yun, it's not that you can't find the soul of the 9 heavens divine demon. Ling Yuner said, it's because their soul is their body and their body is their soul. This. Qin Yun carefully thought about it. This is the only possibility. He exclaimed, this is the state that many people pursue. Ling Yuner said, that's right, the soul and body of the 9 heavens divine demon are perfectly fused together and the soul can be separated from the body at any time. The powerful body is hard to destroy and the body can quickly regenerate. It means that the soul and body are hard to erase. Qin Yun frowned as he looked at the 9 heavens divine demon. This kind of thick silver skin can resist very strong mental power penetration and can protect the soul from mental power attacks. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, you have to understand the soul of the 9 heavens divine demon. Now you have to figure out where the 9 heavens divine demon got so much energy. These guys needed to eat people to wake up. Could it be that the passageway they used to obtain energy was sealed, and they needed to devour powerful creatures to obtain energy in order to open up the passageway? Qin Yun pondered. The source of their energy should be similar to the Xian Shen Dao vein. Isn't the Xian Shen Dao vein able to absorb very special Dao power? Ling Yun said. It should be like that. Qin Yun also thought of this point. The Xian Shen Dao vein was very difficult to detect. It was a very illusory thing that had a very close connection with the soul and body. Sealing the 9 heavens divine demons' Xian Shen Dao vein can prevent them from absorbing energy for regeneration. It can severely injure their bodies and even reduce their strength. Qin Yun finally found a breakthrough point. Although he could kill the 9 heavens divine demon now, it would only be very easy for him to face ordinary 9 heavens divine demon. If he were to face those demon dukes and demon generals, it would not be easy. The 9 heavens demon emperor hated him so much that he would definitely send demon dukes and demon generals to kill him in the future. Therefore, he had to be prepared. The Xian Shen Dao vein is connected to a very mysterious Dao. How do I seal it? Qin Yun himself had the Xian Shen Dao vein. The Dao power absorbed by the Xian Shen Dao vein and fused with the divine power of the myriad realms divine sun could be refined into a very strong divine power and give it an even stronger power. Devour the 9 heavens divine demons' Xian Shen Dao vein. Ling Yuner laughed. Xiao Yun, don't you have the Nether Sun Dao image? Try and see if you can use the Nether Sun Dao image's Xian Shen Dao vein to devour the 9 heavens divine demons' Xian Shen Dao vein. Qin Yun said, that might be possible, but there is a great risk. It's not appropriate to release the Nether Sun Dao image. The exposure of the divine profound Dao image was still rather risky, especially when used to deal with the 9 heavens divine demon. The first 9 heavens divine demon that Qin Yun and the divine judge had caught was directly devoured by Qin Yun. He now understood why he could directly devour a 9 heavens divine demon to death. It is very likely that he devoured the 9 heavens divine demon's Xian Shen Dao vein. However, devouring requires time, and it requires the 9 heavens divine demon to be captured. During battle, it is not easy to directly devour a 9 heavens divine demon, especially when facing an even stronger 9 heavens divine demon. After Qin Yun sorted out the results of his research, he also thought of a way to deal with it. That is to use the Nether Sun Totem. He used the Nether Sun Totem to devour runes and achieve the effect of breaking the seal. Similarly, the Nether Sun Totem's devouring power can also be used to devour the Xian Shen Dao vein. Chapter 2293. After Qin Yun obtained the heavenly Dharma Heart Soul, he could use the heavenly cosmic fire incantation freely. However, it still consumed a lot of energy. If he used it continuously, he wouldn't be able to last long. The celestial universe fire incantation consumed a lot of heavenly blood. During a battle, if one continuously lost heavenly blood, the further one went, the greater the impact would be. Therefore, Qin Yun wanted to create a heavenly talisman or some talisman weapon that could kill ordinary nine heavens divine demons in one strike. In this way, when he faced the attacks of the nine heavens godly beasts, he did not need to consume his own heavenly blood. He could just use heavenly talismans or talisman weapons. There were a lot of nine heavens god demoness, and they liked to form groups. They also had extremely strong defenses, so once they met, it would be very difficult to completely exterminate them. However, Qin Yun's plan was to destroy every group of nine heavenly divine demons he encountered. That way, he could reduce the number of nine heavenly divine demons bit by bit. Qin Yun took out the small black saber and said, "If I carve Nether Sun Totem inside the small black saber and combine it with Heavenly Law Divine Rune, it should have very good effect. Give it a try." Ling Yun'er said. Qin Yun's little black saber can easily penetrate the blue crystals and the skin of the nine heavens divine demons, but it is unable to kill them, so it is rather useless. If he could use the little black blade to deal a fatal blow to the nine heavens godly demon, even if he couldn't kill the nine heavens godly demon, he could still make the nine heavens godly demon lose the ability to fight. Injecting the sky divine flame into the little black blade could cause damage to the nine heavens godly demon, but it was still not enough. The nine heavens godly demon still had the power to retaliate. If it was a slightly stronger nine heavens divine demon, they could still endure the pain and fight. Qin Yun took out nine sun divine hammer and released heavenly cosmos divine flame to refine and forge the small black saber. He first forged the small black saber to a certain degree, then he can easily carve nether sun totems and vibration heavenly law divine runes. The vibration heavenly law divine rune is very useful. When the little black blade pierced into the body of a nine heavens god monster, it released vibration divine power, which loosened the divine power in the body of the nine heavens god monster. Then, the nether sun totem could easily devour it. According to this train of thought, Qin Yun very seriously forged the little black saber and carved runes. Even for him, it was not easy to inscribe runes. The material of the little black saber was very special. If it wasn't for the power of the blood soul formed by the heaven blood, it would have been impossible for him to carve the totem carvings into the saber. Inscribing the vibrating heavenly law divine rune was even more difficult. Fortunately, he has the Empyrean inscription spirit to help him deal with all kinds of problems. The vibration heavenly law divine rune must be squeezed together with the nether sun totem in such a small saber without repelling each other. This requires the help of the mysterious fusion heavenly rune. After Qin Yun was done, he tossed and turned for an entire day. He was extremely exhausted. He somewhat admired himself for being able to complete such meticulous work, which consumed a lot of mental and physical strength. After resting for a while, Qin Yun began to test the power of the little black saber. The little black blade was formed by draining his heavenly blood and combining it with the nether sun, white sun, and the mysterious blue soul power. The reason why he was able to condense the black crystal was because he used the nether sun to devour and copy the ability of the nine heavens divine demons to condense the blue crystal. Qin Yun entered the nine dragons' heavenly origins array and controlled the black saber to stab into the body of a nine heavens divine demon. Then, he controlled the little black knife to devour. The nether sun totem inside the little black knife produced a very strong devouring power, crazily devoured the nine heavens divine demon until he shriveled up. Finally, the little black knife quickly released the devoured energy and shattered the body of the nine heavens divine demon. Success! Qin Yun was overjoyed. He quickly took back the small black saber and carefully observed it. The little black knife is not damaged, it means that it can be used continuously, it is not a one-time use item. This also means that he did not waste a day to refine it. Xiao Yun, it should not be a problem to use it to kill ordinary Nine Heavens divine demons. But if it is a formidable Nine Heavens divine demon, it might not necessarily work. Ling Yuner said. I need to make some preparations. Qin Yun still has 9 little black knives in his hand. He wants to transform them all. With previous experience, Qin Yun's next steps are a lot faster. He mainly used the Gemini treasure mirror to copy runes. This will only consume his blood spirit power. In just a few days, Qin Yun finished the transformation. Even so, he is still not at ease. Next, he will practice inscription battle technique. He used Heavenly Eye and Physique, condensing rune technique, to quickly carve runes together. Heavenly Speed condenses vibration, Heavenly Law Divine Rune and Physique, condensing rune technique condenses Nether Sun Totem inside the body. Because Qin Yun has Nether Sun, with a thought, he can make the Nether Sun Totem appear inside his body. Then he can control it and release it. When these two sets of runes cooperate, they can catch the Nine Heavens Divine Demon off guard. The Nine Heavens Divine Demon that Qin Yun captured was used to refine his hand. The Nine Heavens Divine Demon lost his battle strength in an instant. If combined with the Heavenly Universe Fire Incantation, he can even fight against formidable Nine Heavens Divine Demons. The Divine Moon ship has been flying very smoothly and its speed is also very fast. A few days have passed and they still have not arrived at the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. Qin Yun knew that the Divine Sun Heavenly Island is very far away, but he did not expect it to be that far. He came out of the floating cloud pagoda and saw Xiao Yuxiang standing outside. Xiao Yuxiang's hands are crossed in front of her chest. She is wearing a set of white battle armor, her hair is tied up in a ponytail. She is charming and moving, she is also filled with heroic spirit. When she saw Qin Yun come out, she chuckled and said, "Palace King, why are you still wearing a mask?" Qin Yun doesn't know that his identity has been seen through, but after thinking about it carefully, it is very normal for these dukes to guess his identity. He doesn't think that Yu Wulan said it because he believes that Yu Wulan won't expose his identity. "I'm too handsome, I'm worried that I'll make you fall head over heels for me, so it's better to wear a mask." Qin Yun calmly smiled and said, "Please don't mind me, I'm also doing this to protect myself so that I won't be bullied by some female hooligan." How can the Nine-Yang Palace King who can easily kill 9 Heavens Divine Demons be bullied by female hooligans? I think he is deliberately letting female hooligans bully him. Xiao Yuxiang said with charming smile. "Duke Yuxiang, I almost couldn't recognize you when you put on your clothes. But, after hearing what you said just now, I'm sure that you are Duke Yuxiang." Qin Yun is now very good at dealing with female hooligans. Xiao Yuxiang recalled her embarrassing matter from before and gently bit her lip. Her appearance is very charming. She said with an annoyed smile, "Nine-Yang Palace King, you are really not afraid of anything. You boarded the ship and it was a feast for the eyes. If this matter is known by the clan emperor, she will definitely deal with you." Qin Yun chuckled and said, "I am not even afraid of the 9 Heavens Demon Emperor. Do you think I will be afraid of your Divine Moon Clan Emperor? Besides, Duke Yuxiang, you won't tell on me, right? You took advantage of me. If you make it up to me, I won't tell on you." Xiao Yuxiang smiled craftily. "I'll let you take it back, right? Oh right, you used charming fragrance on me and even burrowed into my bosom. No matter how I look at it, it looks like you are taking advantage of me." As Qin Yun spoke, he put away the floating cloud pagoda. "Take off your mask, I want to see you." Xiao Yuxiang looked at Qin Yun's eyes and said with smile, "You are a man, why are you covering your face?" When the women of your Divine Moon Clan are outside, they also cover their faces tightly. "Why is that?" Qin Yun retorted with a smile. That's because we are very beautiful and don't want to be seen by those guys. We don't want them to have improper thoughts about us. Xiao Yuxiang replied. Me too. Because I am very handsome, I don't want you to have improper thoughts about me. Qin Yun laughed loudly and said. The main reason why Qin Yun doesn't want to board the ship is because he is afraid that there is a nest of female hooligans hiding here. If he is caught, it will be very dangerous. You think I am a female hooligan? Little Yuxiang licked her lips and squinted her charming eyes. She looked at him like a wolf and a tiger. Isn't that kind of charming fragrance used to deal with men? Qin Yun said with smile. If I wasn't born to be an honest person, I would have been eaten by you until not even my bones were left. Xiao Yuxiang suddenly rushed over and released a very strong divine power from her body. Only now did Qin Yun suddenly realize that this Xiao Yuxiang is a very strong duke. Xiao Yuxiang fiercely threw herself at Qin Yun and then quickly pulled off his mask. She finally saw his handsome face, then patted Qin Yun's face and said with smile, You are indeed very handsome, no wonder you were so worried that you would be bullied. She sat on Qin Yun's body and said with chuckle, So what if you are Nine Sun Palace King? If I, Xiao Yuxiang, want to throw myself at you, I will. Qin Yun very much wants to use Dragon Claw Hand on Xiao Yuxiang, but she is wearing armor, so he can only reach out his hand to pinch her charming face. Xiao Yuxiang slapped away Qin Yun's hand and got down from his body. Then she returned the mask to him and said with smile, Put it on, if those girls see it, they will also throw themselves at you like me. After Qin Yun put on the mask, he curled his lips and said, I knew it, that's why I didn't want to board the ship. Xiao Yuxiang giggled and said, Palace King, you are very interesting. But the clan emperor doesn't really like you. He seems to be very disgusted with you. Did you provoke her before? Let her do as she pleases. Qin Yun sighed and said, I have never seen her before, how could I provoke her? Yu Wulan also mentioned this matter before. Qin Yun can roughly guess the reason why the Divine Moon Clan Emperor dislikes him, but he is not very sure. Palace King, our journey will not be very peaceful. We are still 15 days away from the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. If the 9 heavens divine demons besiege us again, we can only rely on you. Xiao Yuxiang said with stern expression. Don't worry, I will absolutely not tell the clan emperor about you boarding the ship. Qin Yun said with smile. Second sister is on this ship, I will definitely protect you. Don't worry. Xiao Yuxiang said in low voice. Palace King, Sister Li Shuang and I plan to take you to see something. That is what we are responsible for transporting this time. It is also something that the 9 heavens divine demons are fighting over. Chapter 2294. In any case, it's a mistake for me to hide the fact that you boarded the ship. It's fine to do it again. Little Yuxiang said, Let's go, let's open that ancient coffin and take a look. Qin Yun suddenly felt that little Yuxiang was very unreliable. Yu Wulan's relationship with him was so good that she did not dare to say that she would bring him to open the coffin. Yet, little Yuxiang wanted to pull Qin Yun to open that mysterious ancient coffin. One had to know that she was sent by the upper echelons of the Divine Moon Clan to supervise him. Yet, she actually did such a thing. When little Yuxiang saw Qin Yun's disdainful gaze, she immediately poked Qin Yun's waist and said with a pout, What do you mean by that look? Duke Yuxiang, you betrayed your clan emperor and king. That's not too good, right? Qin Yun said with a smile, I don't want to get involved. If your clan emperor and king find out and say that I instigated it, I'll be the scapegoat. What are you afraid of? Duchess Li Shuang also agreed. Without her consent, would I dare to do such a thing? Little Yuxiang grabbed Qin Yun's hand and said, Let's go. Duchess Li Shuang said that we want to open the coffin and see if the things inside are safe and sound. Qin Yun was somewhat surprised that Duchess Li Shuang actually agreed. This made him even more curious about the things inside the ancient coffin. However, He still hesitated and said, "You can just open it directly. Why did you call me?" "That's because our handsome and suave palace king of the Nine-Yang Palace is very powerful. Weak women like us need your protection." Facing a woman dressed in armor, Qin Yun could only pinch her face in return. "Let's go." Qin Yun decided to take a look. "That's right. Don't worry, we won't let you take the blame. The clan emperor and king definitely won't know that you boarded the ship. Even if they know, we can still handle it." Little Yuxiang made Qin Yun put on the mask. Qin Yun put on the mask and walked out with little Yuxiang, heading towards the warehouse where the mysterious ancient coffin was located. Not long after, Qin Yun followed little Yuxiang and arrived at the large warehouse. In the middle of the warehouse there was a huge coffin that was 20 to 30 meters long. It looked like it was made of bronze and its surface was rusted and damaged. The giant coffin was in the middle of the warehouse, sealed by array pillars. Duke Li Shuang and Yu Wulan were both here. They were both wearing white armor and holding weapons tightly in their hand. Their expressions were very serious. "This coffin is very dangerous?" As Qin Yun frowned, his eyes suffused a blue light as he opened his heavenly eye. Duchess Li Shuang said in a deep voice, "Yes, it's very dangerous. That's why I need to confirm if the thing inside is the legendary item. Now that we're in a special situation, I need to find out." Yu Wulan nodded lightly and said, "Little brother Yun, we have to prepare for the worst. If we can't successfully reach the divine Yang Sky Island, we have to protect this ancient coffin." Qin Yun checked and could see through the huge ancient coffin. He could only see a human-shaped thing lying inside. He did not know if it was a giant or something. "What's going on with this formation?" Qin Yun looked at the formation pillars and said, "This seems to be a very ancient formation." At this moment, more than 10 beautiful women walked in one after another. They were all wearing white inscription master robes. They were the female inscription masters from the meeting room. "This is a very ancient formation of our Divine Moon clan. Once it is activated, it will form a special sealing barrier. We are unable to stop this formation now." A female inscription master shook her head. "Palace King, can you control this formation?" Qin Yun was very surprised that these women actually knew that he was the Nine-Yang Palace King. He smiled faintly and said, "I can't control it and there's no need for that. I'll just go in and open the coffin." "You can go in?" Duke Li Shuang said in shock. Qin Yun suddenly flashed. Because it was a short distance, the consumption of divine power from the Space Divine Power Pearl was not too great. Seeing Qin Yun pass through the barrier, all the women cried out in alarm. They had tried before, but it was very difficult to enter. After Qin Yun entered, he immediately released a powerful supergravity that enveloped the lid of the ancient coffin. The giant coffin was very tall, like a large house. After the lid was loosened, little Yu Xiang and the others floated in the air, wanting to look inside the ancient coffin. The coffin lid was very heavy. Qin Yun had to use a very strong supergravity to lift it up. After opening it, he saw a giant covered in blue crystal lying inside. Qin Yun also floated up and looked at the giant. He could not help but be shocked in his heart because this blue crystal is similar to the one condensed by the 9 heavens divine demons. It looks even stronger than the 9 heavens divine demons. Wearing blue crystal armor? Qin Yun used his heavenly eye to look and became even more shocked. This giant's flesh and blood is different from a human's. Inside it flows a very thick blue liquid, it should be blood. The flesh is also very special, it is blue sparkling and translucent. The giant's bones are relatively thick, they are all blue crystal. Using the heavenly eye, Qin Yun can see that the bone marrow inside the blue crystal bones is emitting blue light. What shocked Qin Yun the most is that the giant's meridians are clearly visible, they are actually very complicated heavenly law divine runes. Heavenly universe divine runes can be considered a type of heavenly law divine rune. Moreover, it is the most difficult and most complicated type. Qin Yun also has a complete heavenly law divine rune. It is also very complicated. However, the heavenly law divine rune in this 20-meter tall giant is many times more complicated than the ones he has seen before. This is a heavenly law totem? Qin Yun sucked in a breath of cold air. Why does the Divine Moon Clan have such a thing? Qin Yun suddenly understood why the 9 Heavens Divine Demon came to steal it. It is because this giant can restrain the 9 Heavens Divine Demon. The Divine Yang Clan and 9 Suns Sky Clan, or other strong clans, might have such a thing. Previously, the Divine Yang Clan and 9 Suns Sky Clan's ship transporting the ancient coffin was destroyed. That ancient coffin must have been obtained by the 9 Heavens Divine Demon. What is this? Yu Wulan pulled Li Shuangduke's hand. Li Shuangduke said before that she wanted to open the coffin to see if it was a legendary item. It seems that she knows something. For Li Shuangduke to be sent on such a mission, it means that her position in the Divine Moon Clan is very high. Below the king rank is the duke rank. Some dukes are about the same strength as the king rank, it is just that they have not been promoted. This is a guardian spirit. We ancient races all have race spirits, which are also guardian spirits. Li Shuangduke sighed and muttered, "It is indeed a race spirit, this is troublesome." Qin Yun's heart was beating rapidly at this moment. His eyes were flickering with blue light. His heart was beating very fast, it was even about to spin. This was mainly because the Heaven Law Heart Soul in his heart was very active. Qin Yun was quickly recording the Heaven Law Totem in the race spirit's body. It was very useful to him. He did not expect that the combination of the Heaven Law Heart Soul and Heavens I would allow him to quickly record the Heaven Law Totem and imprint it in his mind. In order to ensure that there was no deviation in his recording, Qin Yun secretly let Mo out and made her invisible so that she could see the Heaven Law Totem. Are the Divine Yang Clan and 9 Suns Sky Clan's race spirits stolen? Yu Wulan said in shock. What will happen if their race spirits are stolen? Little Yu Xiang frowned. Why didn't you send more people for such an important thing? You should have let the king rank do it. Li Shuangduke shook her head. Maybe the clan emperor is not sure if it is this kind of thing. From what I know, the clan emperor also asked Sister Feng Yu to take the ancient coffin. Qin Yun said, there should be more than one race spirit. Or maybe some of the ancient coffins are used to confuse them, so they are opened separately. Li Shuangduke nodded. That might be the case, I don't know the specifics. Palace King, can you see anything special about this race spirit? There is a very strong Heaven Law divine power in its body, it should be used to deal with the 9 Heavens divine demons. Qin Yun said. He and Mo also recorded the Heaven Law Totem. Put down the coffin lid. We have to ensure that these race spirits can safely reach the Divine Yang Sky Island. Li Shuangduke said. I have already notified people to come and help, but they won't be able to arrive so quickly. Qin Yun put down the coffin lid and then came out of the barrier. He had tried earlier and found that the ancient coffin could not be placed in the 9 Sun Divine Spirits' storage space. Clearly, there was a power that resisted the space transfer. Little brother Yun, did you find anything else? Yu Wulan said. Can that race spirit really be used to suppress the 9 Heavens divine demons? How do you use it? Qin Yun said. I suspect that this race spirit is a very special kind of puppet. As for the specifics, only your clan emperor knows how to use it. Li Shuangduke said. It has been very peaceful these past few days. Previously, a group of 9 Heavens divine demons were killed. It must have alarmed the other 9 Heavens divine demons. I am worried that the other 2 groups of 9 Heavens divine demons will come and chase after us. They will definitely come. Xiao Yuxiang looked at Qin Yun, bit her lips and said in a low voice, Palace King, can you stop them when the time comes? The dozen or so beautiful female inscription masters also asked if they need help. Previously, the Divine Yang race and 9 Sun Sky races ships were destroyed by the 2 groups of 9 Heavens divine demons. Those 2 groups of 9 heaven's divine demons must be nearby. Qin Yun said, I'll do my best. When I need help, I'll definitely tell you. Little brother Yun, I really have to thank you this time. Otherwise, our operation would have definitely failed. Yu Wulan is very grateful to Qin Yun. Second sister, why are you being so polite? Qin Yun said with smile. Let's go, bring me to the exit. If any 9 heavens divine demons approach, I can immediately take action. Only Qin Yun can still talk cheerfully and wittily when facing the 9 heavens divine demons. In the heavens divine desolate, no matter what kind of strong race, as long as the 9 heavens divine demons were mentioned, they would feel extremely powerless and afraid. Qin Yun not only has more methods to deal with the 9 heavens divine demons, they are even more brilliant. Therefore, he is eager for the 2 groups of 9 heavens divine demons to come immediately so that he can practice. I'll accompany you to wait for the 9 heavens divine demons. Xiao Yuxiang looked at Qin Yun's hand and smiled charmingly. I'll go too. Xiao Yuya also didn't know when she arrived. She wanted to go, but her elder sister looked at her and said no. No need, I'm not waiting at the exit. I want to go out and wait for the 9 heavens divine demons outside the ship. This way, it will be more convenient for me to take action. Qin Yun said. Chapter 2295. These women's perception is very sharp. They can all see Qin Yun's excitement. They are very surprised that Qin Yun is so excited when facing the 9 heavens divine demons. One must know that in order to resist the 9 heavens divine demons, they had to pay a great price to avoid being breached. If not for Qin Yun, their divine moon ship would have definitely been captured. Qin Yun excitedly followed Duchess Li Shuang to the entrance. Duchess Li Shuang opened the door, and just as she was about to say a few words, Qin Yun disappeared without a trace. She could only helplessly look at Yu Wulan beside her. Yu Wulan spread out her hands and said with smile, "He is just like that. This little brother Yun of yours is really strong. Sister Wulan, how did you become sworn brothers with this little brother Yun? He, the 9 Yang Palace King, is even willing to recognize you as his sworn sister." Little Yuxiang said with some envy, "I also want to have such a good little brother." This was a matter from many years ago. Yu Wulan thought back to all these years and felt quite emotional in her heart. She thought about it, if she and Tian Ruling did not know Qin Yun back then, they would not have such status today. It was because they met Qin Yun that their fates underwent a heaven and earth turning change. Not only them, many people who met Qin Yun, because they received help, their life trajectories changed greatly and they all changed in a good direction. After Yu Wulan told this to little Yuxiang and Duchess Li Shuang, they also deeply understood that if they did not meet Qin Yun, this ship might have already been finished. Although they saw that Qin Yun is not the least bit afraid of those 9 heavens divine demons, they are still very worried in their hearts. They are currently in the meeting room, paying attention to the situation outside through the walls of the meeting room. "This palace king has helped us a lot. You must not leak the matter of him boarding the ship," little Yuxiang sternly warned those female inscription masters. "He saved us. Even if the clan emperor knew, he wouldn't say anything, right?" A rather mature-looking female inscription master doubtfully said, "Our clan emperor is not an unreasonable person." Little Yuxiang shook her head and said, "Our clan emperor has some misunderstanding towards the 9 Yang Palace King, so he somewhat hates him." Yu Wulan nodded and said, "Master also told me before that this might be a misunderstanding between Master and little brother Yun. I can guarantee that little brother Yun is a good person. He won't harm us. Sister Wulan, can you let your little brother Yun stay with us for a period of time? We want to learn inscription from him." The charming female inscription master charmingly teased the long hair hanging in front of her chest, and asked with a smile, "Let's talk about it when he comes back." Yu Wulan laughed. You guys are not allowed to bully my little brother Yun, he is very honest. She really thought. She thought. Yuwulan secretly snorted a few times to say. She really thought. She. The women in the conference room are all filled with interest towards Qin Yun. They want to know more about Qin Yun, so they are all talking at once. Yuwulan also answered them. Just as they were talking excitedly, a large cloud suddenly floated over from the night sky. Divine moon ship to say, the Yun to say, even in this god, the Yun said. At night, the divine to, the power, the divine sun is, the Yun to heavens, the sun is Sun Yun is Yun to say Yun. At night, the divine moon is very big, but its penetrating power is not as good as the sunlight of myriad realms divine Sunday. At night, as long as one spends a lot of money, they can use many thick clouds to block the divine to heavens and cut off the connection between the ship and the divine to heavens. Once the ship loses the protection of the divine to heavens, its defense will weaken. It won't be long before it is broken. It's here. Duchess Li Shuang listened to Qin Yun's story with great interest. Seeing the situation in the sky, she suddenly said in a deep voice. All the women became nervous. They are all very worried about Qin Yun. Qin Yun is outside the divine to moon ship. He could clearly see that as the black cloud floated over, many blue orbs of light flew down from the dark cloud. Those seals are coming. Qin Yun immediately rushed over, holding the 9 sun divine hammer in his hand. Using the light transformation sacred pupil, his body is like a bolt of lightning, shooting back and forth between many blue light balls. His speed is extremely fast. So fast, those light balls are used to set up a formation. Now that he is doing this, they can no longer form a formation. A woman cried out in alarm. This formation seems to be even stronger than the previous one. If it succeeds, it will definitely affect the divine to moon ship. That's why he stopped the formation from forming from the very beginning. Duchess Li Shuang exclaimed in admiration and said, I heard from the clan emperor that a few powerful races clan emperors want to have a meeting with White Sun Monarch and 3-Eye Monarch. Divine Judge even invited 9 Sun Palace King. But the other clan emperors are against 9 Sun Palace King's participation, mainly because they look down on Palace King. Little Yuxiang lightly groaned and said, I am afraid those clan emperors don't have 9 Sun Palace King's ability, right? Truly a snob looking down on people. Our clan emperor won't oppose it, right? How can she be so inflexible? Clan emperor did not express her opinion. Of course she knows that 9 Sun Palace King is very strong. Not everyone can make a hole in 9 Heavens Demon Emperor's head. Duchess Li Shuang said. My little brother Yun is very awesome. He still hasn't used his true ability. Yuwulan said proudly. What a pity, he is trapped by the curse of 10 images. If he could get rid of it and break through the bottleneck he is facing, how strong would he be in the future? I really don't dare to imagine. Duchess Li Shuang sighed and said. In the meeting room, many women looked at Qin Yun, who turned into a lightning bolt and charged into the blue light balls. They all sighed and felt pity for Qin Yun. They now know why Qin Yun went out and waited in advance. It is to prevent the formation from suddenly forming. This can prevent the ship from being sealed and attacked by the killing formation. Hundreds of blue light balls, in a short period of time, were all destroyed by Qin Yun, who was holding the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. If the formation cannot be formed, it will not be able to trap the Divine Moon ship. Soon after, Qin Yun quickly drew a very large totem. He raised his hand, blue light shot out from his eyes, and quickly condensed a totem rune that looks like a heavenly net in the sky. That is, Inscription Battle Technique, Divine Level Dragon Totem. A female inscription master cried out in alarm. How can he draw such a powerful totem so quickly? Roar. After the totem was drawn, it transformed into a huge blue dragon that roared and danced in the sky, tearing apart the black clouds. The moonlight of the myriad heavens divine moon shone down and enveloped the divine moon ship, causing the women inside the ship to feel a lot more relieved. However, they soon saw a large group of ninth heaven divine demons wearing blue crystal armor floating in the sky. There are about 100 ninth heaven divine demons. These ninth heaven divine demons are considered to be of higher level, they belong to the elite level, therefore their strength is very strong. Otherwise, they would not have been able to destroy the divine sun race and 9 sun heavenly races ships. What made Qin Yun happy is that these 109th heaven divine demons all have simple and crude ships. The 2 crudely built flying ships had 2 huge bronze coffins on them. Indeed, the ancient coffins of the divine sun race and 9 sun heavenly race have been snatched away by these 9th heaven divine demons. As long as Qin Yun gets his hands on those 2 coffins, they will be his, and the women inside the meeting room will not say anything about it. He needs those 2 clan spirits, they are powerful puppet. If he can control them, it will be even easier to deal with the 9th heaven divine demons in the future. Qin Yun's 9 Yang divine palace will definitely be besieged by the 9th heaven divine demons in the future. If he has 2 powerful clan spirits, he can directly sweep away the 9th heaven divine demons. Are these guys here to give me treasures? Qin Yun controlled 10 small black flying daggers to appear. The small flying daggers have been refined by him, adding nether sun totem and vibration heavenly law divine rune. Once the small black daggers successfully enter the 9th heaven divine demon's body, they will be able to devour their Xian God Dao veins and stop them from absorbing energy to regenerate. Palace King, quickly come back. We can use the ship to shake off the 9th heaven divine demons. Duchess Li Shuang's voice filled with concern suddenly entered Qin Yun's ears. Qin Yun is currently standing on the divine moonship, he replied. You guys go first, I can deal with these guys. Finished speaking, Qin Yun rushed over. He is actually charging alone into the group of more than 100 ninth heaven divine demons. This caused Yu Wulan and the others to cry out in alarm. They are extremely worried. That is the elite army of the 9th heaven divine demons. They are the ones who destroyed 2 large ships and 4 dukes of the divine Yang race and the 9 Yang heavenly race. Qin Yun previously used imperial heaven extermination to kill even more people and dukes of the strong races. In his eyes, the 9th heaven divine demons in front of him are just 1 knife goods. As long as his flying daggers pierce through them, they are basically half crippled. Qin Yun, who is charging towards the 9th heaven divine demons, seems to be accompanied by a very powerful aura. That kind of formless aura penetrated the outer shell of the ship. It can be deeply felt by the people inside the ship. This is the kind of arrogant and powerful aura emitted when an expert is fighting alone against many enemies. This kind of power is filled with contempt towards the enemy. It is like looking down on the entire world. Duchess Li Shuang and Little Yuxiang are 2 dukes who have seen the world. They have also followed the king and clan emperor to fight before. They have only felt this kind of aura from the clan emperor. From their point of view, this 9 Yang Palace King's cultivation is not high, but his aura is comparable to the clan emperor, maybe even stronger than the clan emperor. Qin Yun's small black knives are very small and the speed at which they flew out is very fast. Whether it is the people in the meeting room or the group of 9th heaven divine demons, no one can see the 10 small throwing knives. When Qin Yun rushed over, the small throwing knives also shot out. In the blink of an eye, they pierced through the bodies of the 10 ninth heaven divine demons. Under Qin Yun's control, the runes inside the small throwing knives are activated, producing an extremely strong power. Just as Yu Wulan and the others are stunned by Qin Yun's aura, the 100+ elite divine demons suddenly screamed in succession. It can be said that they have lost their fighting strength in an instant. Following that, a very shocking scene occurred. The 100+ screaming 9th heaven divine demons floated together under the control of gravity and squeezed into a large ball. Then, Qin Yun raised the 9 sun divine hammer high up and unleashed a huge hammer image. The blue hammer image is formed from a kind of blue flame. It brought along a heaven-shaking vibration as it whistled down and landed on the group of ninth heaven divine demons. Ferocious flames roared in all directions. Berserk thunder and lightning mixed with flames engulfed the world like a gale. Those 100+ ninth heaven divine demons were actually turned into flame fragments by Qin Yun's hammer attack. Chapter 2296. Qin Yun controlled the powerful gravity to lift the two huge ancient coffin lids and slowly lifted them up. This process is very strenuous. What surprised Qin Yun is that the coffin lids in front of him are much heavier than the Divine Moon Clan's coffin. Even if they are individually compared, they are much heavier than the Divine Moon Clan's coffin lids. After the coffin lids were lifted, there is no clan spirit inside but many fragments. They are all blue crystal fragments, unlike the Divine Moon Clan's coffin, which had a huge clan spirit inside. There is a clan spirit inside, but it seems to have been damaged. How can the Divine Sun Clan and Nine Sun Heavenly Clan's clan spirits be like this? We must not let them know about this. Duchess Li Shuang said in low voice. Don't worry, only in this conference room can we see what is happening outside. The other sisters cannot see what is happening outside. A female inscription master said. We will definitely keep this a secret. Little Yuxiang said. Yu Wulan said. Divine Sun Clan and Nine Sun Heavenly Clan, do they still have other clan spirits? Duchess Li Shuang nodded. They should still have. These two clan spirits are damaged. Maybe Palace King can research something from them. If the clan spirits were intact, returning them to the Divine Sun Clan and Nine Sun Heavenly Clan would not be a problem. But now that they have become like this, even if they return them, they would definitely not be satisfied. Because only the Divine Moon Clan's clan spirit is intact and their clan spirit is damaged. Duchess Li Shuang and the others seemed to understand these two powerful races very well, so they decided to keep this a secret and not let these two races know. Otherwise, a lot of trouble would arise. Qin Yun is very disappointed because the clan spirit inside the coffin has been severely damaged. He thought that it would be as intact as the Divine Moon Clan's clan spirit. Even so, he still took out the fragments inside the coffin and put them into two storage magic tools. As for the two coffins, they were destroyed by him. Qin Yun believes that the fragments can be restored, but it will take time. Previously, he discovered from the Divine Moon Clan spirit that clan spirits and Nine Heavens divine demons are similar. Nine Heavens divine demons have a very special regeneration ability, so he believes that clan spirits also have this ability. Qin Yun returned to the Divine Moon ship and went to the conference room. Palace King, what happened to those fragments? Was the clan spirit damaged? How was it damaged? Was it damaged recently? Duchess List also wanted to know. It wasn't damaged recently. Qin Yun shook his head. If it is an intact race spirit, returning it to the Divine Yang race and the Nine Yang Sky race is not a big deal. But if we return the damaged clan spirit, they will definitely find fault with us. Xiao Yuxiang tenderly snorted. Those two powerful clans are just like that. Qin Yun said, if we return the damaged ones, what will they do to us? Duchess Li Shuang snorted coldly. They will say that we damaged it and ask us to pay for it. This has happened a few times, and we have suffered losses before. They won't let us go unless our clan spirit is also damaged. Xiao Yuxiang said, so in order to avoid trouble, don't tell anyone about this matter. In any case, the two clan emperors will definitely know that the people they sent were killed. When the Divine Yang race and the Nine Yang Sky race's ships were destroyed, there would be many fragments left. Furthermore, when they were destroyed, they would also send out distress signals. Duchess List and the others received it as well. Palace King, quickly go and rest. Xiao Yuxiang said to Qin Yun with smile. Thank you very much. We also don't know how to thank you. No need to be polite. Qin Yun looked at Yu Wulan and said with smile, "My second sister is in the divine moon race. I will need everyone to take care of her in the future. She is the divine moon heavenly maiden. We won't bully her, don't worry." Xiao Yuxiang tenderly laughed. They also feel somewhat guilty in their hearts because Qin Yun helped them so much, but they didn't dare to tell Wang Ju and the clan emperor. Qin Yun naturally doesn't care about this matter. He is now in a hurry to study those fragments. He wants to restore those two clan spirits. Qin Yun asked for a relatively large room and placed them inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. He then entered the Heaven Leaping Shuttle's warehouse. The only thing that cannot be placed in the storage space is the huge ancient coffin. The clan spirit can be placed in the storage space. Qin Yun took out one of the clan spirit fragments. Those large and small fragments piled up like a small hill. The fragments are all blue crystals. Qin Yun looked around and found a few relatively large fragments. He carefully looked at them and found that the blue crystal bone inside is still there. The heavenly law totem's meridians are still inside the fragment. Inside the blue crystal, there is a very tough and durable blue thing. It should be the translucent flesh. These fragments don't have blue blood. Qin Yun feels that the blue blood should be heavenly blood. These fragments don't have heavenly blood, but I do. Qin Yun's eyes lit up. He feels that he can try injecting his blood into these fragments. The large and small fragments were cut by very sharp weapons. There are a total of several hundred fragments. Qin Yun used his formidable mental power to envelop the fragments. Then he closed his eyes and sensed the shape of each fragment. The shapes of the hundreds of fragments were instantly sensed by his powerful mental power. Then, he put them together in his mind and knew how to piece them together. Qin Yun opened his eyes and opened his heavenly eye. All the fragments immediately floated up and slowly floated. Under Qin Yun's mental power control, they pieced together. In just half an hour, a 20-meter-tall blue crystal giant was pieced together. It is indeed a clan spirit fragment, and it was cut into pieces. Who cut it? Qin Yun released gravity and controlled the ancient race giant spirit to float. Then he took out the small black saber and tried to cut a fragment. He can cut in, but it is not very easy. This kind of blue crystal is much sturdier than the 9 heavens' divine demons. Xiao Yun, when you release the blood, pay attention to control it. Don't let it be sucked dry. Ling Yun warned. I know, Qin Yun said with smile. Then he sealed at least 20% of the blue heavenly blood in his body. This way, even if it was sucked out, only 80% would be sucked out. Qin Yun began to release the blood. What surprised him is that the speed of blood sucking is not very fast. His blood can indeed cause some changes to the clan spirit. Just as he expected, after the clan spirit absorbed his blood, its body released a faint blue light and began to gradually recover. Xiao Yun, this doesn't seem to need a lot of blood. How much of your blood did it use? Ling Yun asked. About 30%. Qin Yun said with smile. There is still one more to do. He then released the fragment of another clan spirit. Just like before, he used mental power and gravity to piece together the clan spirit and then injected blood into it. The amount of blood required is the same as before, not too much. After the clan spirit absorbed Qin Yun's heavenly blood, it miraculously began to regenerate. 2 huge clan spirits are lying in the warehouse. Their bodies are overflowing with a faint blue light. Many of the cuts on their bodies have already been glued together and no cuts can be seen. Qin Yun is also resting. He is using Bai Yang's ability to recover his lost heavenly blood. Just as he was quietly resting with his eyes closed, he suddenly sensed a large movement. He quickly opened his eyes and looked at the 2 ancient race giant spirit. He was immediately shocked. The bodies of the 2 ancient race giant spirits seem to be liquefied. They are tightly hugging each other, as if they are about to fuse into one. This is all done by the ancient race giant spirits themselves. They want to fuse together? What's going on? Qin Yun suddenly felt worried and immediately released the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation. He was worried that after the two ancient race giant spirits fused, he would not be able to control it. Xiao Yun, the ancient race giant spirits should be undergoing a great nirvana rebirth. Ling Yuner said, "Where's your Devil Star Overlord from before?" Qin Yun quickly took out a cauldron. Inside the cauldron was the Devil Star Overlord that had been fusing all along. Later on, he had put in many things, such as Divine Universe Devil Dragon Bone, Divine Universe Thunder Dragon Bone, Divine Universe Heavenly Dragon Egg Yolk, and so on. In short, all kinds of large and messy materials were thrown in by him. The two ancient race giant spirits have even stronger things to fuse. If they were to absorb further, they might be able to fuse even stronger things. Moreover, even if he used it, no one would be able to tell that it is an ancient race giant spirit from the divine Yang race and the nine-sun heavenly race. Qin Yun immediately sent the two fusing ancient race giant spirits into the cauldron. Just as he placed it in, the cauldron began to tremble violently and then exploded. Fortunately, it was carried out inside the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation, so after it exploded, only a large ball of white light appeared. Inside the white ball of light, there are many sturdy materials that are fusing together, emitting crackling sounds. Qin Yun took a deep breath, then pressed his hand on one of the altars of the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation and poured in the energy of the divine universe Purple Sunday. As the energy of the divine universe Purple Sun poured in, the movement of the white ball of light became even greater. Maybe it can take shape very quickly, Ling Yuner said with some joy. If it's a very powerful thing and it doesn't look like an ancient race giant spirit, then we don't have to worry about being seen through. Qin Yun said, "This puppet will be very powerful and it will definitely be able to suppress the nine heavens' divine demons. Refining would take a period of time." What Qin Yun needed to do was to pour in the energy of the divine universe Purple Sun. 2 days later, Qin Yun suddenly heard a voice coming from outside. "Little brother Yun, hide well and don't come out. The Wind Moon King has boarded the ship." Yu Wulan said, "Don't run around. The sisters on the ship won't give you up." The Wind Moon King had previously led a woman from the divine moon race into the heavenly law universe. Her name was Feng Yu and it was said that she was a very strict and cold female expert. "Got it, I'm resting, I won't go out," Qin Yun replied. He continued to refine his puppet in peace. Qin Yun is not surprised that the Wind Moon King has arrived, because Duchess Li Shuang and the others have already asked for help. Chapter 2297. Yu Wulan told Qin Yun not to worry about being discovered. She also said that it was impossible for the Wind Moon Duke to find this place. Qin Yun is not at ease, so he quickly took out a helmet and put it on. Even if the Wind Moon Duke sees him, he can still think of a way to fool them. Now he wants to refine the puppet with peace of mind. This is a very good opportunity for him to refine a puppet that can restrain the nine heavens' divine demons. As for what it will be in the end, he is not sure. He only knows that it will be very powerful. The Wind Moon Duke boarded the ship mainly to escort it safely to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island. The nine heavens' divine demons and the dark magicians of the Magic Institute working together to intercept the ships of three powerful races is not a simple matter. How did the nine heavens' divine demons know that the three powerful races are on the way and they even know the flight route of the ships? Qin Yun thought about this problem before. He suspected that there is a traitor. A traitor who knows such an important matter must be someone from the upper echelons of the Alliance. The Nine-Sun Heavenly Race did not plan to join the alliance of the Divine Moon Race, Divine Sun Race and Myriad Realms Divine Court. Now that they have joined, they are also an important target of suspicion. Of course, Qin Yun is not very concerned about who the traitor is because this is an internal matter of the ancient races. The first thing he wants to do when he goes to the Divine Sun Heavenly Island is to see Yang Shiryu first. Yang Shiryu is one of the 9 Sun Divine Maiden. Her appearance in the Divine Sun Heavenly Island means that she has a mission or is representing the Guang Han Palace. Qin Yun has been releasing the Divine Universe Purple Sun's energy in the Heaven Leaping Shuttle's warehouse for several days. Through the 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation, the energy is transferred to the white light ball inside the formation. The puppet he refined is very special because the puppet only needs to absorb energy. What kind of mentality it will eventually become, and what kind of runes it will have inside, they are all formed naturally. In the past, when he refined the puppet, he needed to mold the outer appearance. When he was almost done, he needed to carve many complicated runes. The runes inside the puppet have heavenly law totem, so Qin Yun does not need to worry that the runes are not strong enough. And the puppet's body was bound to be extremely sturdy. It had that special blue crystal to begin with. Then, in addition to the many materials Qin Yun had collected over the years, as well as the Divine Universe Dragon Bone and the Divine Universe Purple Sun's energy tempering, it would eventually become very strong. After Qin Yun refined for about 8 days, there was finally some movement. The white glow of the white ball of light changed into blue and purplish red. Is it coming out? Qin Yun turned slightly excited. At the same time, he controlled the array and released his strongest barrier to prevent the commotion from being too great. With a whoosh, multicolored light scattered in all directions. Inside the formation, a tall and burly puppet appeared. Clad in a set of blue battle armor, it looked mighty and domineering. The puppet had the same body as a human, but it was purplish-red in color. Its purplish-red body was covered in blue crystal armor. Through the blue crystal armor, one could see the body that was glowing with a purplish-red light. Xiao Yun, it's done. Ling Yun is much more excited than Qin Yun. She said with a smile, quickly go inside and see if there is any space. Previously, there was a space inside the Devil Star Overlord that could be controlled while sitting inside. It was very satisfying. Qin Yun gave it a try and found that he could enter the interior. Furthermore, the interior space is very spacious. He took out a very comfortable and large chair, sat on it, closed his eyes, and controlled the puppet with his psychic power. Through the puppet, he could see everything around him. What surprised him is that his mental power seemed to be able to amplify and become stronger through this puppet. Let's call it Divine Cosmos Overlord. Ling Yun said with a smile, how about it? Not bad. Qin Yun continued to sense the Divine Cosmos Overlord. Although it is a puppet, it is very special. In order to control the Divine Cosmos Overlord more freely, he allowed his soul to establish a connection with the Divine Cosmos Overlord. Just as his soul was completely connected with the Divine Cosmos Overlord, many memories suddenly gushed out from his mind. Qin Yun is extremely shocked. He didn't expect that those 2 giant spirits from powerful races actually had memories, and now, he could obtain bits and pieces of their memories. Those are the memories of the ancient spirits of the powerful races. He quickly digested those memories, and also solved many of the doubts in his heart. Just as he guessed, those powerful ancient races have a very close relationship with the mysterious above the 9 heavens. Because his memories are incomplete, he doesn't know much about the matters above the 9 heavens. That is an extremely illusory domain. Above the 9 heavens, there was a very powerful race called the Heavenly Law Race. The blue skies were created by the Heavenly Laws tribe, mainly to imprison the 9 heavens demon tribe. The 9 heavens demon tribe was originally a normal tribe in the 9 heavens. However, they stole the heavenly secret technique and the sun seed of the celestial universe Divine Sunday. That was why they were punished. Through Gu Ling's memories, Qin Yun obtained some information regarding the heavenly universe Divine Sunday. The heavenly universe Divine Sun is blue in color. The reason why the nine heavens demon god could condense such a powerful blue crystal was because the blood souls in the demon god's body had been transformed by the celestial divine sun seed. The reason why the great clans had such a huge clan spirit was mainly to fight against the nine heavens godly demon. Because the heavenly law clan above the nine heavens, in order to completely destroy the nine heavens demon gods, they controlled the blue skies to descend into the divine wilderness of the heavens. And a long time ago, they had sent a large number of people to descend into the divine wilderness of the heavens. In other words, they were the powerful clans. The heavenly law clan. Why don't they just destroy the nine heavens godly beast? They can't do it? Qin Yun was puzzled. The heavenly law clan spent so much effort to send the nine heavens godly demon to another god realm. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, I suspect that the god realm we are in might be completely isolated from the nine heavens, and the other white sun divine world or three-eye divine world might be able to reach the nine heavens. So the heavenly law hall through the nine heavens divine demons here? Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. The divine wilderness is a new place. Isn't throwing the nine heavens divine demons here the same as harming others? They might have thought that after the blue skies exploded, the nine heavens divine demons would also be finished. However, they underestimated the power of the nine heavens divine demons. And they also have a trump card, the giant spirits of the powerful clans. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Those clan spirits are not considered strong, they are still no match for the nine heavens demon emperor. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been chopped into pieces. Who chopped them into pieces? Ling Yuner asked. I don't know, the memories of those clan spirits do not have this part. Qin Yun said, This matter is very complicated. It seems like those powerful clans are related to the nine heavens. The clan emperor knows, but the clan emperor won't say anything. Ling Yuner said, These guys are very weak against the nine heavens divine demons. Moreover, there are several powerful clans that have joined the nine heavens divine demons camp. Qin Yun said with sneer. Even the Heavenly Law Hall and the Magic Academy have joined hands with the nine heavens divine demons. This is the most ironic thing. The Heavenly Law Pavilion was clearly built by the Heavenly Law clan, but now, the Heavenly Law Hall has joined hands with the nine heavens divine demons. Ling Yuner sighed and said, The divine wilderness is a new world. Do the Heavenly Law Hall and the Magic Academy want to become the overlord of this world? Qin Yun controlled his divine universe overlord and walked back and forth in the warehouse. This is not satisfying because this guy is mainly used for fighting. Without fighting, it is impossible to feel how strong it is. Above the nine heavens, there is a heavenly universe divine sun that is blue. I wonder if it is compared to the divine universe purple sun, which one is more powerful? Qin Yun is very curious. Is the blue blood in my body related to the heavenly universe divine sun? Qin Yun sat inside the divine universe overlord and pondered over the clan spirit's memories. At this time, he heard a voice coming from outside. It is Xiao Yuxiang's voice. Sister Fengyu, even though you are the Wind Moon King, you can't just barge into my room. Xiao Yuxiang complained. This is your room? That is a very big room, it is not used for people to live in. Don't block me, I want to go in and take a look. What responded to Xiao Yuxiang is a very cold and stern voice. The Wind Moon King actually came. Qin Yun promptly came out of the divine universe overlord's body and stored it away. Then he walked out of the heaven leaping shuttle. Fengyu is still outside, she did not come in. She also did not see the heaven leaping shuttle. The heaven leaping shuttle is a white jade gourd. Even if it was seen, it would not matter. After Qin Yun came out, he stored the heaven leaping shuttle and changed into a set of blue inscription master robes. He wore a very tight blue helmet that completely covered his head, not even his eyes could be seen. Bang! The door was violently smashed open. Qin Yun is very calm. He is sitting cross-legged in the middle of the room. He originally wanted to conceal himself, but he thought that since Feng Yu could find this place, she must have used some method to detect him. Whether it is concealment or running around, it is useless. Feng Yu is wearing fiery red battle armor. Her stern and ice-cold jade-like face is incomparably gloomy. It is obvious that she is very angry. Her phoenix eyes are filled with fierce expression as she glared at Xiao Yuxiang, Yu Wulan and Duchess Li Shuang beside her. Qin Yun also saw that there is a very beautiful fiery red small phoenix tattooed on the side of Feng Yu's face. It is a phoenix totem. Qin Yun can recognize that it is a phoenix totem with a single glance, but it looks very ordinary. It is not carved well in all aspects. Explain it to me. Feng Yu's beautiful face is as cold as frost, her phoenix eyes slightly narrowed. She sneered and gently caressed the little white cat in her bosom. Xiao Yuxiang said in low voice, "Sister Feng Yu, your cat called Xiao Bai Shui is really awesome. It actually knows that someone is here." Yu Wulan forced a smile and said, "Sister Feng Yu, that person is a little sister I just met." Feng Yu has a smile that is not a smile and said coldly, "My Xiao Bai Shui, not only does she know that someone is here, she also knows that that person is a man." "Wulan, you said he is a woman? Then I will go and cut off the things on his body that do not belong to a woman." Feng Yu King, I have long heard of your great name, but after seeing you today, you are only SOSO. Qin Yun said in a hoarse voice with a hint of ridicule in his voice. Hearing his tone, Yu Wulan, Xiao Yuxiang and the others were stunned. Isn't this clearly provoking this king? Man, what did you say? I am only SOSO? Feng Yu is a strong woman. Being ridiculed by a man, she immediately became furious. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.